No, you lose points if you do
back,
crime.
everybody, and welcome to the crime time.
No, not crime.
I know
You lose points. You can't break the rules. You lose points if you break the rules.
No, I know. This party doesn't have a rogue, so crime is going to be a little bit more difficult. But I believe in all of you.
I mean, Lantern would be great at crime if she didn't know it was a crime.
Fiona wants to punch the ones doing the crimes, not be the one who commits them.
No.
It could be fun. It could be fun.
Last campaign, we had some crimey boys.
Yeah.
Vellos just wants to make awesome weapons and armor and beat the shit out of people with them. Preferably people in dungeons.
This part's a little bit more of an adults with hobbies vibe.
For now. I might get you guys to do some crimes.
I don't know. You know, I'm not entirely sure it's even adults who have hobbies as so much as almost adults with hobbies.
By your powers combined, you make one functional adult.
Lantern considers herself fully an adult, for the record.
Vellos is still really, really young for a dragon.
Lantern has no idea how old she is.
You form one functional adult.
Yeah.
On our good days.
Okay, so last we left off, you guys had gotten a job to go to the village of Starcrest to pick up some supplies for the local House of Healing, or at least one of said houses of healing within Mansque.
A clinic, presumably.
A hospital before the term hospital was really used
A thing.
widely.
That's why it's a clinic.
Yeah. Apothecarist would be another word, I guess.
That's more of a pharmacy.
It is more of a pharmacy, but, it can function as both.
I don't know. You know, by this time in history, hospitals were a thing.
I mean, yes and no.
I mean, it looked like today's hospitals, but...
No, obviously not. But when you have more magic involved...
Well, yeah, that's...
House of Healing can be more of a appropriate term.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't arguing the term. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Either way, we got a commission from the House of Healing or one location thereof.
Yes. Though, if I remember correctly, you guys had not departed yet to Starcrest.
No, we have
no.
No, we were getting ready to go.
We just met up.
Yep. You guys had just met up. I don't remember where you guys met up at, but you had, in fact, met up.
We found each other on a street crossing, I think.
Yes, that was it.
Pretty much.
We did go to the House of Healing after we met up to actually take the job when we're heading back to our cart. Actually, I think we're at our cart.
By the way,
God damn it, I'm going to keep using those interchangeably, aren't I?
And they are not the same thing.
I know, that's gonna bug me. Ugh.
Dori has to do her audience.
I mean, she doesn't have to, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah. Okay, how many do I roll?
Just the standard for for a populated area.
I have to get there. Populated till 5. Okay.
Yes.
D6. Okay. Ugh.
That didn't sound good. Despite this never being bad, that didn't sound good.
Yeah.
Huh. Right down the middle.
Yeah, I'm just, okay. So a steward, a scholar, and 3 scoundrels.
Scoundrels.
Oh,
Sounded
no.
almost like this party.
I don't know. I don't think we're a scoundrel-heavy party.
We really aren't.
Like,
No.
again, Lantern is as close as the fucking setting gets to being like default up to something, and she's mostly thinking, I wonder if it's still too late to reconsider my career as a delver and just sell like disassembled potatoes in populated areas.
I mean, Lantern can think this, but the creeping dread of PTSD sneaking in will always be there.
I don't know if it's gonna work that way for her. We'll have to see.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Just looking at bard features. Anyways. So, group together, headed back to the wagon. With your job in claws.
Lantern sort of dashes ahead to get the horses set up, very excitedly explaining to them that we're about to go on a fantastic adventure.
We're all about 3 hours of travel, if you remember correctly. Maybe a little less. Weather's looking fairly nice and stable.
Exactly. That's what's fantastic about it. It looks like it's going to be pretty easy.
Traffic on the roads
Yay,
is about
easy
average.
travel. Off we go.
All right. So, like I said, about
Once Big Face Boy and Fred are harnessed, she jumps up behind the reins and waits for everyone else to get in the wagon.
all right.
Dori is there.
Yep.
So,
Fiona happily gets on.
once everybody's settled on the wagon, you guys get moving. Like I said, it's moderate traffic. About what you would expect is largely travelers or trade traffic. Weather's fairly pleasant. It takes there about 2.5 hours to get to Starcrest.
While we're traveling, Vellos is going to test out the new feature they got, the dormitory in the wall. I forget what it's called.
Dimension Dorm.
Dimension dorm.
Dimension dorm.
Okay, so it is exactly as its name is on the tin. As you open up the door, I get to the thing so I can just real quickly reread it. So as you grab the door and open it vertically, kind of just like a sliding hatch upwards,
Huh.
No, you don't
That's
know where the hatch disappears to, because by all means it should slide up into the ceiling. Well, not quite into the ceiling, but yeah, no, never mind. 10 by 5 feet. By all means, it should slide up into the ceiling, but it vanishes, and it leads into a rather comfortable but simple bedroom.
How's it look, Vellos?
Well,
Now, I will say,
pretty-
the dorm, as you open it, leads to a cot, sized up to you.
Okay. Well, finally finally have a decent amount of space to sleep. Well, not much more than that.
Well, that sounds about right.
Not all we need, really.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that dial there is how you choose the room. There should
Huh.
be 4 of them.
And there are, when you close the door, there is a dial to select which room. Now, you were informed politely that the doorway can only open up for one room at a time, so be sure to actually close the door when you're done.
Fair
The rest
enough.
of us can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there is a safety feature that can be toggled from the inside. But, again, it's one of those things where it's like, don't be a dick, close the door when you're done.
Right. That is going to save so much space for sleeping and stuff.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice.
Yes, it's a very simple bedroom.
Hey, simple is fine for Vellos. At least it's a bedroom.
Yep.
It is a room with a bed.
And it cannot be decorated.
Yeah, pity that everything gets shunted out when the rooms aren't in use.
Well, I mean, if it kept it, it probably would have been a lot more expensive to install.
True, true.
Significantly.
Yeah.
How's the road looking, Lantern?
Very clear. And there was a squirrel, and there was another squirrel. I don't think they were friends.
Oh.
What makes this really awkward is the fact that one of those was the animal squirrel, the other was the beast squirrel, and you're pretty sure the beast was losing the fight.
Ouch.
Uh-oh.
They're tenacious, you know? You got, like, they look like they would be easy to fight because they're small, but just because something is small doesn't mean it's easy to fight.
Exactly.
Nope.
Yeah, I never specified on what kind of a fight. I'll leave that for you guys' imagination.
Either way, there really isn't a good winner in this one.
Not typically, no. Okay.
Just imagining a beast squirrel arguing with an animal squirrel and losing somehow.
Anyways,
That makes a lot more sense if it's a druid.
as you make your way up, you soon come to the surrounding. You seem to come to a road that passes through the surrounding farmland of Starcrest. And why do I still have that image open? We don't need that image up. There we go. It's a bit of a wandering field, but it follows the easiest path leading up the elevation of a hill.
Farm song, there's a cow.
There is probably a cow somewhere in there.
I'm sure there's a few, and probably quite a few sheep as well.
Yes, actually. Fiona, despite never
Yes.
being here, this still has a very homely, familiar feeling to it. Just instead of wheat, it's more temperate plants. Or not temperate plants, plants that deal better with cooler temperatures.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, this is much less busy than the city.
Oh, yes, it's nice. Quiet for once.
I was going to say, it's so quiet.
That's what's great
Yeah.
about it.
I was starting to miss the quiet. City is fascinating, but so many people.
There's
Ugh.
a capital H horse riding a lowercase h horse.
Well, yeah.
As he strodes through a field of potatoes.
They're both making the same exact face.
Okay.
All right then.
Lantern seems very excited by this.
It is very, very peaceful as you make your way up the wandering road and into the village proper.
Dori's actually starting to look just a little bit paranoid about what's about to go wrong.
Oh no.
It's like a parent with a small child. Everything is fine until it gets quiet.
Fiona,
Not used
meanwhile,
to
this
rural.
is a familiar rural quiet to you. Even though Golden Tide is technically a city, it's city in classification only. It's like a fistful of villages sharing one central governance.
Yes. First time away from the hustle and bustle, Dori?
I mean, we've been on the road and all, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm a city girl. I'm from Louvain.
She's from the fancy district of Louvain.
This reminds me of the first place I ever was, except way flatter.
Not quite nobility, but definitely merchant class.
Oh yeah, merchant class for certain.
But
I love how our little group has people from quite a few walks of life.
Yeah.
But anyways, it doesn't take long before you do find yourself approaching the Bethel, which is the larger structure down the road.
Okay.
If for those who need a reminder, a Bethel is the name for basically where Parawa's faith is held, rather than a standard like church. This is more of a communal structure in
The social hall.
Yeah, it's more of a communal structure dedicated to Parawa than anything else, in which a lot of things happen here. It is a town, it is a meeting hall, it is a communal kitchen.
So it's sort of a community center.
Yes.
That's what my mind was thinking.
Yeah, it is a community center with religious overtones.
Makes sense.
Yep. And it is relatively busy there as you pull up. There's a smell of breads baking, simple
Ooh.
cookings permeating the air, the sounds of small talk and chatter.
Just all those good rustic vibes.
Exactly. And a lot of this traffic permeates out into the wider road itself. Though there is kind of space off to the side where you could park your wagon, in so much that there's no real actual parking area, but this is the kind of place where if you ask about, most people will say, yeah, you wouldn't be in the way if you just set up right there.
Lantern will absolutely clue in on this and pull the wagon to a stop and hop out and go. And you hear her mumbling about how she doesn't understand how a clear road gets so many burrs on the horses as she brushes the horses.
The real question is how the horse is getting so many burrs when there are so many other people with fur walking around.
Fred, you are a burr magnet. They all see your charms and want to join you.
You want some help, Lantern? I can help you with the horses.
Yes, I would love for you to help with the horses. As you see, this is a brush. There are many burrs on the horses. You should remove them with the brush.
What's everyone else? What is everyone else doing while Lantern and Fiona are deburring the horses?
Fiona,
Dori will help out.
Fiona is attempting to learn more animal handling.
Okay.
You know,
We should.
as she helps with deburring the horses, because, you know, this seems like something that she can learn how to do. Surely this has to help her understand horses.
We should probably find who we're picked.
Lantern does a
I'm,
great fucking job explaining this.
Nice.
So what did you say, Vellos?
We should probably find. Was it a person we're getting a delivery from, or like a shop?
Yeah, you were looking for basically the local head priest kind of figure, if you remember correctly.
Ah, right.
Also, Vellos, where would you say your because I know we were talking about this a little bit, but I never really asked in specification. You said you wear the Sun Bull's horns prominently, but where exactly would you say those would be painted on your equipment, or where would your holy symbol be on your person?
His holy symbol would be his. It's a necklace that he usually leaves. It's not tucked into his armor.
Okay, so it's kind of out in the open on his chest.
Yeah, and he'd usually have. He might be one to. I'm not sure if he'd paint the Sun Bull's horns on his armor. He
Okay.
might go more with like an anvil, a hammer and anvil symbol.
Alright, that's fine. Also, it tells me what to put on your shield. But, okay, so who else is going with Vellos to look for the administration in the Bethel?
Bruno will go with him.
Okay.
More just so that no one's on their own.
Fiona does not really learn much about horses.
Which is a pity, because Lantern explained the hell out of them.
You coming, Dori, or?
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay.
We will look after the cart.
So, as you're moving into the Bethel proper, while some of you are given, you're used to having looks shot at you. Vellos, you're also used to having looks shot at you. Though,
Yeah.
from those who see you from the front, some of which go from a curious to somewhat discomforted look, but do not say anything.
Yeah, he's just going to ignore those. Well, he's not. Though he's probably aware of what's making them discomforted.
As village gossip slowly oozes around you, just out of hearing.
Oh dear, gossip's gonna be a new thing for him. Kinda.
People talk, Vellos. They talk.
Constantly.
While cities may not care too much in regards to what Delvers follow, villages are a little more secular, a little more different.
Okay. Huh.
But how would you guys like to track down the person you are looking for? Ask about, try to look for them yourself?
Well, likeliest is head to the Bethel and ask.
Well, you're already in the Bethel itself, as I said.
Oh.
Yeah.
Find somebody who appears to work here, a priest or something, and ask for. Were we given a name or just a title?
We're not. You have
Okay.
paperwork regarding the pickup and delivery, but you were not given a name.
Okay, and the name's not on the paperwork.
No.
Okay, I'm going to find somebody who looks like they're not terribly busy and say, hey, we're supposed to be doing a pickup for the House of Healing in Mansque. Can you?
That's easy enough to find anybody who's not busy. If you want to give me a charisma check to see how long it takes for you and asking around.
Sure. An 11.
That's not too bad. In this particular situation, it's not too bad. It takes you a few minutes of asking around before you are gradually directed further and further into the Bethel, and soon you find yourself walking towards a bit of a cozy looking office room with the door open, where a sheep in more priestly garb is leant over a table, appearing to be reading over several sheets of paper. He almost looks bored.
Dori will knock on the thing around the door.
The door frame?
Yes, thank you. I couldn't think of the word for it.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
Every damn time.
It's the worst feeling.
It takes him a second to realize somebody knocked before he slowly looks up and says, yes, come in. How can I help you?
Good afternoon. We were told to come here to pick up a delivery for the House of Healing in Mansque. And she'll kind of hold up her paperwork.
He thinks for a second before... Oh, yes. I was expecting you guys, No, you're not the usual driver. I was expecting him...
No,
we're
not.
Days ago? Is he okay?
I forget what happened to him. My brain just...
If I remember correctly, their wagon caught on fire due to a...
Oh, yeah.
improperly mounted lantern.
Yeah,
Right.
I understand they had some wagon problems. So while they're dealing with that, we had a little bit of extra time, so we took it on.
Well, it is a pleasure that you can help out, as that is. He lets out a droning sigh and shakes and is like, I've been telling them to just get a new wagon for years. That thing was old, we shall say.
Mm. But it was probably just the right level of comfort. Everything's set up exactly the way they wanted. It's always tough when that happens.
Probably. It's just the thing was pre-war.
Oh
So
my. Yeah.
they kept
That's
replacing
very
parts,
old.
and I knew something was going to happen eventually. Just well, nothing to be done for it now.
No,
He says, holding
you
a
just
hand
have
out
to
for
deal
the
with us.
papers.
She'll hand them over.
He takes it, he reads it over with a, yep, this is exactly what I was expecting you guys to come here and pick up. Do you have the payment available?
We were given
Yes.
that, yes.
Yes, we have that. So, and Dori will hand that over as
Okay.
well.
You hand over the pack. You hand over the large pouch of gold coins.
Mm-hmm.
He opens it, looks through it. Seeming to do more mental math than actually counting, just kind of weighing the bag in his hands before nodding. Looks like everything's here. Alright. I will have... I'll have somebody go and get in just a minute. Get the supplies. Where's your wagon located?
Dori will point to where they're parked. And we're right over there. Lantern
Convenient,
and...
just outside. Just outside in the
Yep.
alley.
Yep.
Excellent. Alright. I will get some of the farmhands. I'll send a runner out to get some of the farmhands right now.
Excellent. Thank
Go
you.
get things dropped off. He says while getting up and folding up the paper neatly and grabbing a few coins out of a lockbox. He calls out. He kind of just points into the crowd and gets the attention of somebody. Hands them the invoice and a few coins and tells them, "Hey, go get the farmhands and get it to these guys. Get the supplies to these guys' wagons." As he kind of taps the invoice, and with a nod, they run off. No real professional structuring, but definitely how a village behaves
Yeah.
in their own familial way. It shouldn't be too long, but as he kind of looks over your group, if I could ask you guys a brief favor, if I'm not too mistaken, you guys are the Delver sort?
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Yes, that's what I
Yes.
thought. Heard some news from Mansque about a group with a silver dragon with them. So,
You're famous, Vellos.
Oh joy.
yes. I hate to be too asking or too forward of, but there's something
What?
that's been there's something that's been kind of killing our livestock,
Oh, no.
and maybe you could take care of it. We kind of know where it. We don't know exactly what it is. We know where it is, but
Okay.
after what happened to one of our people here, nobody really wants to venture near that area.
That's
Well, that's
understandable.
understandable. What's happening other than just killing livestock? I mean,
Well, nothing so long as we don't wander too close to its burrow, but poor Jackson's been receiving bed rest since he got attacked and his good arm got messed up.
oh no.
Do
Oh, no.
do you guys have any kind of description for what this thing is?
Brown, really bug-like.
Oh no.
Bug-like. Do we have any of those pictures of the spider chickens?
Still have the book that had illustrations.
We have them in the cart if Lantern has them.
The book
Yes.
doesn't really have any illustrations of those. That's just Adrian's diary, and mostly talks about him and Kentalak.
Right. Thought I had illustrations.
I think we've probably got some pictures of them in the wagon.
Yeah, might not be a bad idea to make sure it's what we're thinking.
Yeah. Because if it is, we kind of know what to do with them, which is basically kill them, but we know.
I mean, that's a given, but
Well, not
I was hoping to-
necessarily, but
I was hoping to get a break from fighting those things. All right, let's.
I think
Get
that's
there.
kind of our destiny, Vellos, is we're going to be fighting these things for forever.
All right, let's get them.
He kind of looks between you guys like, should I be aware of something? Should I be worried?
No. These have all been in very different places.
Okay.
Dungeons, but we keep running into them, and it seems to be.
Well, I
you
mean,
know.
it sounds like you'd be the experts in dealing with this issue then.
Yeah, assuming it is what we think it is, we kind of like somebody to look at a picture of them just to be sure. So we're not going in expecting one thing and finding out it's something entirely different.
So as you guys go and get the picture to show him, he just kind of shrugs and says, he looks a little disturbed by the image before saying, I don't know. I haven't seen them myself, and
Well, is there somebody who did see them who we could show it to and who could
a few
say yay or
people
nay?
have, but descriptions beyond large rounded insectoid descriptions have varied wildly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Could we talk to them and show them the picture and let them tell us that, yeah, it looks like it. No, it doesn't look like it. We're not really asking for anything much more than that.
How long ago were the sightings? Fiona will pipe up now that they're outside by the wagon.
Well, we recently had one of our livestock killed, but again, if descriptions have varied wildly, is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aside from large, brown, and insectoid, everything from those are the most consistent descriptions. Unfortunately, fear does a lot, and
Yes.
Makes things seem bigger and more dangerous than they actually are, even if things are already big and dangerous.
Exactly.
Which is why I kind of like to talk to one or two people who've seen them so they can look at it, say, yes, that's what it looks like, or no, that's not at all what it looks like. Yes.
Dori, everyone's going to be way too busy to stop what they're doing to come look at a picture.
Well, I figured we could go to them. That's not what you do in a village. Oh, sorry, I'm from Lavane. What do I know about village? She kind of shrugs at the sheep, like,
if it's killed livestock, most of the people are going to be on the outskirts of town in the fields.
Oh, okay. So we'll just have to assume it's spider chickens and go from there.
I'm sorry, spider what?
They've got multiple names.
As
Bells is just bursts out laughing.
That's what our lantern here, and Fiona will gesture to Lantern, came up with as a name.
Lantern, who was up to, like, she was bent over fully double in a basket of oats, like, up to her fucking head. She lifts her head out of the barrel of horse food and says, "Excuse me, what?"
We're talking about how spider chickens were named.
Oh, they look kind of like a spider, but also kind of like a dead chicken. Like one that's been strung up for after you've butchered it.
So that's what Lantern called them.
He's kind of doing like a counting on his fingers while trying to think and imagine this. And you can tell he's completely drawing a blank.
Yeah, everybody kind of looks that way. We've also heard them called bladelings.
And mantis hounds.
That's only one person who's used that one. I don't think that one's going to stick. Bladelings might stick. I still like spider chicken. But
I mean, that one's funny, but less practical than Bladeling.
It also makes them mad.
Well, that's an advantage.
Let's just
go after whatever it is and kind of hope it's
not what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, I can tell you the burrow is, if you go to the well and head due east past the cobbler and... Actually, no, if you take the south road and follow it straight towards... Follow the path heading east, you'll still go past the cobblers, but at the very end of the road, you'll be at a tool shed, and if you just continue heading east to the end of the fields, you will find a burrow there.
All right.
Okay.
Fifi and Fiona will say quickly, memorizing the directions.
Cool.
Not a single road name is given.
Nope.
Not in a village, it wouldn't be. They probably don't have names.
But Fiona has remembered the direction. Take the south road down past the cobbler and to which field was it?
Shed.
To the
Sounds
tool
like
shed.
you guys found us a double job, a job we could do while doing the job.
Yeah.
Well, the spider chickens are stealing people's livestock, Lantern. We have to stop
They're
it.
going to make ham out of those. They can't do that.
No.
Ham out of sheep.
You can absolutely make ham out of sheep. I have had turkey ham in my time. You can make ham out of anything. In Britain, they make badger ham.
Okay, this isn't Britain, and you shouldn't be eating badgers.
I will eat any badger I damn well please.
After hearing those
thankfully is no Britain here.
After hearing those directions, Vellos looks half tempted to just take flight.
You absolutely can, Vellos. There is room enough here for you to fly.
So while we deal with this, it's okay if we leave our wagon here, right, sir?
Oh yes, that'll be fine. We'll just
Unless there's a better place for us to park to be loaded.
Here is fine. We just won't load your wagon if you're not back by then. We'll just leave supplies here.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We'll head out.
Okay.
Hey, I'll follow you guys from the air. And with that, Vellos is gonna take off. Literally.
Watching.
You know, he doesn't want to be noticed. So what does he do? He
Fly.
flies.
Look, he couldn't really fly in the city.
I don't blame him.
He
If I could
doesn't
fly,
understand.
if I could fly, I would fly everywhere. Lantern does look slightly but noticeably envious.
But yes, he doesn't want to be noticed, and what's he immediately do? First chance he gets, take off.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, even if he is noticed up in the air, what are they going to do?
Ogle.
Point.
Gossip.
Ogle, find out
Oh,
where he's
yeah.
landing and go meet him.
Lots of gossip.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the gossip. Rumors.
I'm not sure Vellos understands those implications yet.
Oh,
This is
Fiona
going-
understands
He's gonna
exactly
learn.
what Vellos just did by taking off in the middle of a rural farming village.
This is
You are going to be the story for the next month. Hey,
At
did you
least.
see that silver dragon that just crazily took to the air in the middle of town?
I'm going to be able
And
to
then the
fly
rest
one
of
day, and
the
it's
people
going to
he
be
was with went after that monster that was taking our livestock.
It gets worse than that. There
Uh-oh.
are some talks. Fiona, you know it gets worse than that when you hear the mention of that silver albite.
Oh dear.
What do
You'll
we
have
you would
to
know.
remind me what that means.
They're talking about his faith. And you would
Ah.
know in rural settings, from living in a rural place yourself, Albaid does not exactly have the greatest reputation. The slaughter,
great.
the god of the slaughter.
Great. They're judging his religion.
One day I'm going to be able to fly, but I'm going to do it after I turn into a goose, and that's, well, nobody in a farm town is going to be surprised to see a goose fly.
They might be a little surprised to see a lizard turn into a goose.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I guess I'll just
don't
have to hope
worry.
for that best case.
Granted, you know, while
Wouldn't
magic
you worry
use-
about being caught by one of the farmers for Sunday dinner?
Well, I'm pretty sure as soon as they tried, she'd just become a naughty goose.
Well, that's
And then I
Probably
think
freak the
nobody
farmer out
ever
and
thinks-
cause more stories.
That's the thing. Nobody ever expects you to turn into a goose and not bite them, and then turn into not a goose and bite them. Nobody will be prepared for
I
that.
will say that, Fiona, you can tell that there is druid craft at work in this village, given the fertility of the crops.
Here's what craft?
Druid craft being used here.
I bet I'm not the
Okay.
only person in this town who could turn into a goose eventually. I can't yet, but one day.
Why can't you turn into a goose?
Because they fly.
Stupid class level restrictions on flight.
Right, I'd forgotten that. It's something to look forward to.
Okay.
She looks wistfully at the distant dot in the on the horizon that is Vellos by this point.
It's not really that distant, Vellos. You're probably having to circle overhead.
Bit wondering what the fuck is taking them so long to get moving.
They're walking and talking, and Fiona looks frustrated.
Oh, wonder what's got Fiona all annoyed.
Oh, geez, are you gonna ask her when you land?
Yeah, maybe. Look, when it comes to this kind of social stuff, Vellos might be a little oblivious.
Just a little bit.
Little
You
bit,
look
I mean.
really cool taking off, though. Like, I want to embroider a picture of that on a pillow. But first I have to learn how to embroider.
Yeah, that is a good first step. Embroidery is not all that easy.
It looks really hard because of all of the little marks you have to make with the needle, and the fact that if your thread gets messed up, you have to pull it back out or just cut it and start over. And I'm going to do that once I've got all of the money from delving, and I have a lot of time to do something really, really frustrating. She looks amped.
Sounds good.
Okay, so as you reach the end of the path,
We've reached the tool shed.
Yes. And he
Okay.
said just follow the field straight to the end.
Okay.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with farmland, that is a lot of potato.
Yeah.
Which soon turns into a field that's more cotton.
Lantern is very excited about the potato and less so about the cotton.
Until you realize
Yeah.
the clothes are made from that as well.
You're right.
Yes.
She will be excited when she realizes that that's fabric. They're growing fabric out of the ground. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Vellos
Dori
has
was
probably
pointing
never
out-
seen big farmland like this before. So many vegetables and other stuff.
Potatoes, carrots, cotton. You're pretty sure you see a few patches of those star drop berries,
Ooh.
which seem to be given. They're not nearly as large, but those seem to be given some particularly pointed treatment, or I should say, careful treatment. Like it's a delicate herb.
Anyone who gets too close to Lantern as she sort of skitters along trying to match you long-legged motherfucker's speed, you hear her whispering encouragement to the plant seedlings. Mostly, grow big, grow strong, grow big, grow strong, make so many potatoes.
Soon you're able to
No.
see what was discussed.
Ah.
It is a rather obvious looking burrow at the end of the fields, near-ish where one would keep sheep and chickens. I say near-ish where one would typically keep because it looks like the fence has been torn apart and the barnyard has been locked and barred, or the barn doors off in the distance.
Vellos would descend once the party starts to reach the burrow.
Fiona, by the time you reach,
Did you see any big bug monsters while you were flying?
Fiona, as a heads up, by the time you guys have reached the edge of the field, or by the time you guys
Yeah.
have reached the tool shed, you'd already been hearing gossip about the silver dragon.
Oh, no.
So now you are here at the edge of the field with Vellos.
Vellos.
Yeah?
About you.
Why? Okay.
A, you're a silver dragon. B, you follow a god they don't really like.
And C, you
See?
took off in the middle of town.
You took off in the middle of town, giving everyone a chance to see you. You are going to be the talk of the town for at least the next month.
You see the gears slowly turning in Velos's head. Like, when you lay it out like that, even someone like him can start to put two and two together. Huh. Shit.
Vellos realizing what he's done.
It's okay. They're gonna learn how cool you are when you help us, when we take out this thing that's been killing their sheep. I forgot what kind of animal it was killing, but it's not good for it to get killed.
Chickens, sheep, all the unfortunate wild or livestock. Okay.
Right, now I'm gonna have to remember not to fly near towns or near cities or towns.
I mean, you can fly in town so long as you don't mind people talking about you. If you don't mind being the center of gossip,
Go for it.
yeah.
He seems confused when you say gossip.
Good. Do an insight to understand if I can see if I can figure out what he's confused about. That is a 16.
Yeah, you'd be able to tell he's still. You remember him talking about his upbringing.
Oh my god, that's right. You were a hermit.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, so gossip. Gossip is basically when everyone in town talks about something, talks about it to the next person, and over time it warps and spreads like wildfire.
And people only concentrate on one aspect of it. So this one talks about this, and this one talks about this, and this one talks about this. And by the time you get to number 4, he's getting 4 entirely different stories that he then puts together his own way.
Yeah.
It's like that game you see kids playing sometimes where one of them at the beginning of a line whispers something into the other one's ear and all of them whisper something, and by the end of it, nobody knows what anyone's talking about anymore.
I grew up with only 2 other children.
Well, he didn't have enough people to play that game, Lantern.
Oh, I did, but they were all kobolds, so it wouldn't have worked very well. They would not have understood it.
I don't even know how to react to that. What the hell?
Basically, by the time we come back here, if we ever do, the stories they will be telling about you will bear very little resemblance
to what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to kill this bug thing quick so that they at least maybe remember it ending with you being the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know you're the hero.
Why do I feel a headache coming on?
Oh, gossip is a headache.
Yes.
But it's also why everyone in my home village knew that I would gonna punch anyone's lights out if they messed with any of the smaller kids.
Huh.
So,
no, I didn't think I would miss the nest so much. This is a new feeling.
It actually happens in any group of people. It's just that in a bigger city, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of different stories to gossip about.
Because maybe everyone saw a cool shiny dragon man take off in the middle of town, but then also, like, there's somebody who saw a rat wearing a hat as tall as the rat was, and maybe that's a little bit more interesting to some people.
Yeah, but everybody already knows about Doug Dimmerrat.
Or somebody...
the Dimsdale Rat Dome?
Or somebody saw a merchant running after a jumping vase or cup.
Yes, exactly. Gossip is the human condition. But little town? Well,
yeah, what a brother
the beast condition.
Right?
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure gossip existed before the Brethren came here.
Yes, I meant.
Do Brethren also gossip?
A really interesting novel that was set in a human-only world. It was really weird, and they kept talking about the human condition. So I guess I.
Oh, like the Broken World. Okay.
Yeah. So Anyway,
I guess it's about time people start writing books about that.
yeah.
Okay.
So anyway.
Putting aside me inadvertently being the talk of the town, let's just find this thing and...
Well, that's easy enough. You're walking and talking and giving Vellos anxiety. You eventually do reach the burrow.
From a nature perspective, does this look like a burrow of a type of creature I would be familiar with, or look a lot more like the spider chickens?
Don't give me a nature check.
Just gotta find out what that is.
It's your wisdom. I think it's your wisdom.
Yeah, but I don't remember if I'm actually proficient in it. Oh, nope. Nature is intelligence.
You know,
animal handling is wisdom.
I really dislike that. Freaking for what is a druid skill?
You don't get it
Religion.
innately.
Yeah.
And religion is...
Oof, I have no idea. I maybe am still too overawed because I saw Vellos taking off, and while I'm not going to gossip about it, I am going to inscribe it in my memory palace for all time.
I was having the same thing with religion was bugging me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that not wisdom?
So, for druids, make your... Okay, so we're just going to make this house ruling right now. Druids, you may make your nature checks as wisdom. And for clerics, you may make your religion checks as wisdom.
Should I reroll or just use the different modifier?
Go ahead, reroll.
You were overall, but then you actually took a second look at it.
Don't forget to make a note of on your character sheets.
10-4.
I believe under the skills section you can add a few custom skills, so...
Right, I was using...
Well, using my wisdom, I'm able to tell a lot better.
As you examine the burrows, you're noticing... There's a couple of differences here that makes you suspect that these are not your friends. I mean, they're probably not your friends anyways, but these aren't specifically your regular friends. The first one is that the dirt is more hard pack and pushed into being a solid tunnel rather than being solidified with a resin.
Guys, I was really overthinking it at first, but now that I take another look at this, I don't think this is spider chickens.
Uh-oh.
See, they didn't do any of the thing where they spit. It's not quite the right size. It's really packed dirt, and they don't bother packing it, because why would they when they can just freeze it into resin with their gross vomit?
No, I'm actually kind of relieved it's not our friends again.
But it is a different giant bug monster, so still be prepared for a giant bug monster, because I'm still pretty sure this is a giant bug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Fair enough. Okay.
It is still dark in there.
Would you like me to try
there-
to take a look inside and see if I can figure anything out about it, or...
Are there any signs around the burrow about recent activity?
Go ahead and around the burrow itself.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
like around the burrow or the area around the burrow.
I'm trying to think what dice to roll or what check to make that. I guess make an investigation check.
Investigation? Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping for survival. 19 though, so that works.
Either way, it's good enough.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes. No. There is definitely some recent activity. You
Okay.
could say within the past today.
Okay. Well, based on what I'm seeing here on the ground, this whatever is here is still here. This activity can't be more than a day old.
And you do see, and to couple with that, you do hear some faint chattering from inside.
That something that sounds like there's more than one of them.
Given your role, you'd probably have to guess 2 or 3.
Okay, there's definitely more than one.
That explains the differing descriptions.
Yeah.
Do you think we should scout it out first, or do you think we should go in there with 2 different people casting Moonbeam and moving it forward?
I don't know if that place is big enough for Moonbeam.
It's definitely
There's
big enough
also-
for you guys to walk side by side,
Okay.
Right.
but
Let's.
What, 2x2 or 3x3 or?
3 by 3 would be wide enough.
Okay.
Oh wow, these are some big bugs then.
Oh yeah. So,
Good.
me, Thorn, Fiona up front.
Yep, that works for me.
Yep.
Just as a reminder,
Alright.
it is pitch black in there for those who do not have dark vision.
We're
Dori
gonna
will
need
cast
torches.
dancing lights. Dori will
Ooh.
cast dancing lights.
Or that works. How much?
That's a
work does-
cantrip.
Yes. 4 torch-sized lights. Within
Okay, are those lights
120.
stationary, or can you make them follow people?
They hover
they can
in
move.
the air.
Okay.
I believe they each one has less of a radius of light than, say, the light cantrip,
They
which is
do.
stationary on an object, but these are
Yeah.
movable.
Yeah.
But they can only be so far from each other. So
Yeah, they've got to
Sounds
be
like Dori's in the middle.
120. Yeah,
I mean, that's easy enough.
sounds like.
Lantern will pick up the rear because she just basically needs sight line to cast spells.
Yeah, these things shed dim light in a 10-foot radius, so these aren't exactly the brightest things, but as a bonus action,
No.
they can be moved by 60 feet.
Probably gonna want a few torches then.
Here we go. A light must be within 20 feet of another light created by the spell, and a light winks out if it exceeds the spell's range.
Yeah.
So the lights have to be kept together, but
Well, within 20 feet.
yep.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not. You could functionally create a conga line of them with their light radiuses touching, but yep. Not a big deal at all. So, as you march into the darkness, it's not a long tunnel, and as you walk through, you find a few molted chitin plates, which further suggest these are not the things you're used to dealing with, because last time around you did not see these things molt, or the bladelings molt.
I don't think they can molt.
Well,
Maybe they just do it at special times and then they eat it.
Mhm.
That's how some bugs
That's-
work.
That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe whatever these are, they can just do it whenever.
Are you suggesting the bladelings are environmentally conscious with their recycling?
No, I suggest that they'll eat basically anything, including spider chicken.
And that's still technically being environmentally conscious.
I suppose, but it's more of an accidental side effect.
It could be more of hiding their tracks and less of environmentally conscious. Keep themselves hidden to better hunt their prey.
It's just nutrient reclamation!
I thought I had another dancing light. Oh well. Okay, so before I show you the map, as you enter the cave, there are a few rough patches of roots forming pillars and just piled dirt from floor to ceiling, as you see 3 creatures like so hanging out around a few tattered and torn up sheep carcasses. that they're busy
Oh.
chewing on.
Like mantises.
That image looks vaguely familiar. Where have I seen that?
Dragon of Ice Fire Peak.
No.
Oh.
No, Icefire Peak doesn't exist.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Regardless of imaginary landscapes.
Well, that looked.
How far spread apart are we? I mean, are these monsters?
I'm giving you guys the map right now.
All right.
Beyond painting easel.
Ah,
Or this isn't an easel, sorry. Padlet.
Ooh, they're all big as well.
Yes, they are all large-sized creatures.
Looks like there's a spot between two of them that could really use Moonbeam in it.
Now, I
You
will say,
love that
as you
spell.
walk in, they have noticed you, but it does not seem like they are going to be... I would say they are surprised to see you as you are to see them.
We were expecting something, but not whatever those things are.
Yes.
Okay, good. That book's on the shelf, not in front of me.
Well, that's a very different kind of bug. Okay.
Let's see if it still doesn't like radiant damage.
most of them I think don't.
Most people don't like taking radiant damage,
No.
but I still think it's important that we check.
It is going to be initiative roll since this is not a surprise round. You guys were very visible with your light sources.
Yes.
I
Yep.
Yep, fair enough.
That better
damn it.
visible than going into something blind and getting ambushed.
yeah.
Valid.
Yep. And I forgot to set up Vigilant Blessing, so.
Well, frick me.
Holy fuck.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
Oh, nice lantern.
yeah.
Somebody was walking there with fucking Moonbeam half cast in her head and is ready to party.
Oh, who's got Thorn?
That's a good question.
I
there.
still have access to a
Do
sheet
you want
if
to
you
run
want
him
to keep
again,
it
or should I
easy.
roll for somebody else?
I mean, if you want to roll for somebody else, I can just roll his initiative real quick since it's a straight roll.
Okay.
He got a 17, and I did not put Thorn on that. Oh well.
That's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and maybe
Figure somebody else can have fun being the barbarian.
yeah, let me D4 here. Bruno.
Dang it. Ugh.
You should now have visibility on Thorn's character sheet.
Yep. Well, at least I've already got his rolls set up on a list.
Yep. Okay, so let's take it from top 25 to 20.
23.
Lantern craving violence out of 23.
That's what I'm saying. She was sitting there. That is a natural 20 on initiative. Lantern was sitting there with Moonbeam half cast, ready to party the whole time.
Okay, who else? Is that it for the 25 to 20?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
19 to 15.
19.
Bruno's a 19, and Thorn's a 17.
Okay, so it's going to be Dori, Bruno, then Thorn.
Bruno's a 15.
Oh,
Sorry. Dori's the 19. Ugh.
you said Bruno 19 as well, so I'm like, okay, that'll be easy. So Thorn 17,
yeah,
Bruno 15.
I was looking at Dori's instead of mine by accident when I read it a lot.
All
When I read
right.
it.
14 is dead.
Whoops.
Fiona?
Oh, sorry. Fiona's 13.
Okay.
Vellos got a 4.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I was distracted by a dog. I apologize.
Understandable.
Well, Vellos, you please know you're at least not going last.
Oh my god, one of them actually is slower. That's impressive.
Okay, taking it from the top of the lantern.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's time for motherfucking Moonbeam, y'all.
Where are we putting the? Where are we putting the Unirabbit of Moonbeam?
You see that delicious spot right between those two white boys?
Like right here and right here, or right here. Or right
Yeah.
here.
I briefly considered not calling them white boys, and then I decided to live a little.
They're
Anyway,
beige. They're more tasteless than that. Then again, everybody's fairly tasteless here. What am I talking about? Okay, so what's the saves on Moonbeam?
that is Constitution.
Let's see here. That's a 19 for one of them,
Pass.
and that's an 11 for the other.
One pass and one fail. That will be 7 points of damage and halved for the one who passed.
Hang on. Yeah. Don't mind this. I'm just using it here to tell the difference between two of them.
That's fair.
Yep.
Got it. There is no effect. He's just wearing a shirt.
Basically.
It ought to be red.
No, because I already have a red one.
I meant a red shirt.
Oh.
No, one of them's wearing a hat.
If you want a red shirt, here you go.
No.
Anyways, movement, bonus action.
I'm gonna dealer's choice, north or south, either one of those little corners. I kind of want to get in them.
Okay, one of these corners, dealer's
Yep.
choice. You can have the
Dealer's
corner.
choice. Lantern will choose completely based on vibes. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And I am concentrating on Moonbeam if you need to put a little hat on Lantern too.
Yes.
Secretly, Lantern just wants to wear a hat.
Shut up. You don't know me.
Another. She gets a blue hula hoop. Okay. That's Lantern's turn. That takes us over to Dori, who,
Okay.
as is tradition, I have to pretend to skip on accident. All right, now your turn.
Yeah. Dori is going to pull out her dagger. And she's going to point
Oh,
at the
did you
guy
ever
with.
attune to that?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been attuning to it.
Yeah, you never specified if you attuned to it.
Fiona is definitely attuned to her weird gloves.
Oh, no, I know
Yes.
about that. But the spell talent.
Okay.
Dori has been doing just about everything but sleeping with it. And probably has been sleeping with it.
Okay, so Okay.
Okay. Hang on 1 second here. I forgot to do something. Oh. And she's going to pull out her dagger and she is going to point to the guy. Is the guy farthest from her within 60 feet?
Both of these guys are about the same distance away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So it's probably also about 55 feet away.
Okay, so the guy with the blue hat on.
Yep.
She's going to point her dagger at him and say, I've met bugbears with better personal hygiene.
Oh, we visited the Meadow of Monsters, have we?
Yes.
It fails its wisdom save.
It fails its wisdom save. Excellent. That means that he gets, hang on. I'm still learning this guy. Weapons gets a, okay. Where is it? Oh, I already had it. No, I didn't. Okay. And she does 5 damage. 4 psychic and 1 necrotic.
Well, a few times you see D4 hit its max. Everybody cherish this situation.
Yay!
Okay. As you cast from the spell talent, the blade does seem to darken for a moment as magic flows through it as your focus.
Okay.
Yep.
She's basically going to just stay where she is for now. She's
Okay.
a good distance from things.
Now we will move things over to Thorn.
Give me 1 second. Apparently, I did not have the glaive on my rolls list, so I've been adding that in.
Yes.
His precious.
Yeah, his precious glaive, which he is going to take out and. Alright, where is Thorn? That one.
Yes, the one with the antlers.
Yeah, unfortunately the screen's small, so I can't see it very well.
You can enlarge it.
No, it's that my screen doing that is split between the video and the dice roller. I've only got 2 screens, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was just saying you can enlarge the actual video itself, but...
Yes, you can. It's just I don't have the room on my screen to do so.
Understood. Carrying on then.
So he's going to move his way up to the first of the bug things.
Okay.
Alright. Yep.
Yep.
Alright. And he's going to attack with his glaive.
Alright, go ahead and roll it.
I just need to double check something. And okay. You know what? He's going to reckless that, so
Okay.
advantage and rage is a bonus action, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to bonus action rage, then he's going to do the attack and reckless it. Yeah. Wanted to make sure I had all that set up. Okay.
You remembered before you rolled. That's a good thing.
Yep. And I think I did that right.
Yes.
Eek.
Yes, a 22 will hit.
Yeah. So
I
that
hope.
is... Yeah. Okay. Here we go. There we go. For 9 points of slashing damage.
Solid hit, solid hit.
Let's see. Okay, and no, he can't do the opposite end attack this turn, because that's a bonus action.
Yes, it is.
Yep. I just needed to double check, so I think
that's
that's...
going to
Let's
take
see.
things to Bruno.
Okay. Now to figure out what the heck I'm going to do is Bruno. Oh, wait, yeah.
You're going to do Bruno things.
Yeah. Bruno is going to... He's going to move up about... Actually, where is Bruno? Again, I can't distinguish who is who easily. Alright. And the clear things on the map are the lights?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to move up 10 feet.
5, 10.
Sorry, other angle. Yeah. And is he within Sacred Flame distance?
5,
Of any of
10,
them.
15, 20, 25, 30. What's the range of Sacred Flame?
I think it is 60 feet. Okay, so
he's in
yes,
range
he
of
is.
everything.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to Sacred Flame the red one.
Okay.
Alright. And that is a dex save.
That's straight. Well, that is a 14.
That meets it. Dang it.
Oh well.
Yep. Alright, and that is his turn.
Okay. That's going to take things over to Fiona.
All right. So, question: does
Yes.
Moonbeam cast light?
That's a good question.
I believe so.
A silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. So it does say that there is light. Dim light fills the cylinder. I don't think it surrounds it.
Okay.
So dim light fills the cylinder. So your target is illuminated.
But it doesn't extend past the cylinder. Okay.
No.
All right. So, as a rat, I have low light vision. How would that work? Since low light is treated as bright light for me, but how does that expend past the?
Since your target is illuminated in regular lighting, you can hit him normal. This is you would treat it like striking from the shadows, basically, except it can see you.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking the red one is kind of outside all the dancing light ranges.
You can't see that one.
Okay.
Yeah, because the light only fills the pillar. It's like looking at a you know those really low quality glow sticks you can get at like some events, and they really only cast enough light for themselves to be visible even in the darkest environment.
Yeah. That's
kind of what you're looking at, but a giant one of those that's slowly burning everything inside of it.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. As a rat, I have low light vision, so dim light is bright light for me.
Yes, but it doesn't shut past that.
Okay. Okay. So since Fiona can't really see the red one to go up to it, I guess she'd go up to the front beige one then.
5, 10, 15. Do you want to get in reach or melee?
Melee.
Okay.
Since she'd have to use a key point to use the range.
Yep.
And she's going to slash at it with her short sword first.
Okay.
Since he is illuminated by the beam, she can see him well enough to not have disadvantage. .22 to hit.
22 hits.
.10 points of piercing damage. And then using her bonus action, she's going to punch it with her fist.
So wing away.
Yeah.
I just remembered I have
Do
other
have
devices.
that cantrip.
Which one?
Light.
Ah,
I use that for the fight. Damn it.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
That
Oh,
also hits.
nice.
Oh, nice.
nice.
All right. So do we roll double the dice
Yes,
or
that's-
All right.
we rolled a little dice. I know there was some brief
Good.
confusion on that yesterday, but I'm pretty sure we've always been rolling double dice.
I thought so.
Yeah.
This 7 low rolls on both the die. 7 points
Unfortunate.
of bludgeon. But still, that is 17. Pardon me, I am very confused at my skills for a
But
second.
still, you punch the thing in one of its large pincery claws, and you hear a resounding crack, and you know, well, that wasn't your knuckles.
Right?
Okay.
Ha-ha!
I need a reminder on Moonbeam. Is it the end of turn or start of turn where it does the damage?
Start of turn.
Ouch. Okay, con save.
Or anytime it moves in.
13 con save.
Just meets it. Let me get you. Sorry, I do have this screen maximized, and it makes it hard to get to the dice roller.
No, I understand.
And I just remembered I have multiple other
Only
screens.
2 points of radiant damage.
How much?
Just 2, because it's 5, and so it halves it. Because it met the DC.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and scooch forwards by 1 tile. And
That's what I was confused by. Got it.
damn circular bases on a large-sized creature. But we're going to go ahead and make a bite attack against Thorn.
Okay.
How dare he bite our elk?
Oh, you know. That's going to be a 12 to hit. Or, sorry, not 12 to hit. That's going to be a 15 to hit. I forgot a modifier.
That does not hit.
Does or does not?
Does not.
Well, that's all I can do. We're going to go ahead and take it to the other one. We're going to take it to that one, so...
Oh, wait, hold on.
He has disadvantage to hit.
Hold on.
Right, advantage to hit on Vellos. Or, no, sorry, Thorn.
There's also
Disadvantage.
does he have the shield?
Thorn Reckless.
Yes.
Yes, but the guy with the blue
Yes.
hat got hit with vicious mockery.
That wasn't the
So
one
he
that
has-
attacked him.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
This one
different.
attacked,
Okay.
but doesn't matter because that was an 8 on the die, so...
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Does Thorn have the shield? Because that would change whether the first one hit. I just noticed that
No.
he had animate. So no, the first one did hit. He actually has
15?
a 14, not a 16.
Okay.
Yeah, he has the 14 AC, not a. He had it marked as on, and I didn't notice that. I want to check. All right.
Okay, so we get to do a little spicy damage here then.
Unfortunate.
Oh no.
And also I'm going to need... Oh, never mind. Thorn is just grappled in his mandibles. As he takes... Ouch. 6, 9. 9 piercing and 5 acid damage for a total of 14 damage.
Ooh.
Ouch.
He's raging, so that should be
So
half.
have the 9 to 4. So he takes 9 total damage.
Okay.
That's a spicy bite.
It is.
Yep.
And he's grappled and expandables.
Lovely.
Alright, now we move over to the next one. Who got a 17 on its con save.
That will pass, so he will take half of whatever I'm about to roll. Half of 13 damage, so 6, I think.
Yes. Alright, and this one's going to go ahead and move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-ish, thereabout. Yeah. And go ahead and make a bite attack towards Fiona.
Oh no.
And I know this one does have disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay, that's going to be a 10 to hit.
No.
Okay, well, I tried. Vellos, your turn.
Right. Vellos is yeah, he can't really see much past the dancing lights or at the moonbeam. So he's actually going to spend his turn using one of his cantrips, the light cantrip, on his shield.
Okay, so now you are illuminated.
Ooh,
Yep.
more light.
Bright fucking shield now.
It's all bright light for me.
Um.
And then what?
I think most of his other stuff is action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll cast Searing Smite on his hammer as well, and move south to the pillar in front of them near Thorn and Fiona.
Okay, so you want to move on to this side of the pillar?
The other side. He wants to be able to.
In range of the enemy or no?
No, not in range of the enemy.
So south
Yep.
side of the pillar, not in range of the enemy.
So like
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, he wants to be able to react to any surprises.
Okay.
That also brings your light closer to Fiona, so thank you.
As you stand next to a large root structure.
Yeah, with
Pretty sure there's a tree above you.
yeah, he's gonna try to not hit that with his hammer, which is currently on fire.
Oh, Thorn's not happy about that.
Thorn can't quite see it due to the roots in the way.
Also, he's too angry to care, probably, because of the rage.
Possibly.
Silent, focused rage.
And that'll be it for him. He is concentrating on Searing Smite.
He's not mad, he is just disappointed. That is not the right token. That is blinded. I want this one. There we go.
Ooh, nice. Light has a 40-foot radius.
Yes.
20 of bright and 20 of dim. But it's all bright for me.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Okay, that's gonna go ahead and take it to this dude, who's seeing his friends all being picked on, is going to.
What? No, we're not picking on them.
You're
We're just hitting them.
definitely not smart enough to be aware of this. He's gonna move over here. He's going to have to make a con save. That's a 7.
14 points of radiant damage.
Okay, and then I'm going to need... yeah. Hang on, what's the range of this?
Oh no.
No.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No. Fiona, I need you to make a dex save.
Oh,
As
okay.
it spits acid in a straight line.
Oh no! Not okay.
Well, dodge, Fiona, dodge, unless you don't want more bald spots.
Luckily, I'm proficient in dex saves. Oh no! That's only a 13.
Well,
Oh, no.
that is enough to make it.
Oh, thank God.
Yay!
Ooh.
You are still going to take 6 acid damage.
Ouchies. Oh wait, I don't have temp HP. Let me delete that. Okay, 6.
But it's not nearly as bad. Okay, Lantern, it's your turn.
Okay. So, I don't think there's a place that I can move it onto both of them.
Not really. But you do have the one that just walked right into it.
I do, and that's pretty cool. And I'm sort of wondering if I can put this in a location that it hits the guy in the blue hat, and if that red guy closes in to try to bite the shit out of Vellos or Fiona, it might pass through it, because that's something that can be finagled.
Potential, but you don't know.
I think I would like to use my action to move Moonbeam one. Can I? Yeah, I would like to move it so that it's gonna get that blue hat guy.
Okay. So,
But it's a little bit in front of Fiona, like not actually
Yeah.
hurting her, but
just trying to remember how
Appreciate
this
it.
guy stood. Oops.
hopefully if that red guy closes in, he will also just walk it through that like an idiot, because they're not smart. They're bugs.
They are bugs.
And not bugs like the spider chickens are bugs, but they also got something going on. These appear to just be
This is
bugs.
This does not fully block movement. It would be rough terrain for you guys to move over it. That blocks movement. That's not so much. Is that an action or bonus action to move Moonbeam?
It is an action.
Okay, just want to make sure. And
I don't have any bonus actions that I like.
That's fair.
So I think I'm just going to chill here.
All right, Dori, you're up.
Okay. I am going to pull out my nice little spell talon.
Okay. That you already have pulled out.
Yep. And I'm going to point at the red guy and go, may fortune shit on your future and devils nibble on your nether regions.
Oh.
Okay.
Cast vicious mockery.
Oh
It's a
dear.
wisdom save, yeah. I'm suddenly realizing. Oh. That's a 7 on a wisdom save.
I don't think
Okay.
these guys are wise.
No. And the nice thing is that he will have disadvantage on his next turn, as well as whatever this comes out. Roll high. Not bad. 2 psychic, 5 necrotic.
Ooh.
You got those backwards, but yeah. Or no, yeah, never mind. You read them right. I was looking at the order of the dice when you said that.
Ah, okay. And then she is going to point at Thorn and go, "You are a hero!" and activate the steward ghost that is haunting him.
Okay.
That's the shield,
Now he
right?
has the shield.
That's the shield.
Okay.
Now he has the shield.
Now he has 16 AC.
Okay.
And
And
is there something else I had to do?
that's your
No,
action,
that was
bonus action. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I'm not planning on moving anywhere, so.
Okay, so that takes things over to Thorn.
Thorn, even more enraged, is now going to... Yeah, he's going to recklessly attack again.
Okay, go ahead and swing it.
Alright. Yes, I'm in the dice.
Yeah, that hits.
You gonna take
so that-
average or roll it?
Oh, I personally prefer rolling it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I know he usually doesn't. He does average.
But
But he's not here right now, is he?
But that is still
Exactly.
enough to kill it as its mandibles just kind of hinge open and as it falls limp on the ground, dropping Thorn, or at least unhanding
good.
him, ungrappling him.
As the jaws go slack around his body.
Yep.
He starts turning, sees the flame, and starts heading towards the red one.
Okay.
Fair enough.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. No, just 20.
It's on the dim light range of me.
It's in 40 feet?
Yeah.
I think so.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay,
yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
barely out of bright light.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I just
Enough
needed...
to see to hit a target, but not enough to read by.
Okay. Alright, I just needed to double check to make sure I didn't have to use it on the same creature that I used the first attack on. So he will use the bonus action attack. Which is 1d20. I think that's... Does he have get
It's
proficiency
still an
die on that?
attack. It is still follows through as a
Okay.
regular attack.
So that's...
Yeah. It says in wording you can use your bonus action to make an additional attack
Yeah,
using the
okay.
haft of the weapon.
Alright, so that's, I think, plus 5.
Yep.
Or plus 1d4 plus 5.
Yes. Roll away.
Okay.
Mess them up. Or don't. I'm not in charge of you.
Eh. Wave.
14 hits.
Nice. So that's 1d4 bludgeoning,
Yes.
I think. I don't think it gets any bonuses.
Check the player's handbook real quick to confirm. Feats. Too far. Let's see here, polearm master.
Yeah.
The weapon attack
168.
uses the same ability modifier as the primary attack, so go ahead and add your strength to that.
Oh, so that's an extra 4, so 8 points of damage.
There you go.
That's 8 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. Then
That will end his turn.
That takes things over to Bruno.
Bruno. Let's see. Did Fiona get hit or no? It missed Fiona, right?
Thorn got chomped.
Thorn got chomped.
Fiona.
Fiona got hit by acid, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Thorn got chomped pretty bad if those cracks in the ribs were anything to go by.
Yeah. So.
Thorn definitely took more damage than Fiona did.
Yeah. Is Bruno within 30 feet of Thorn?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just barely out of range.
Dang. Okay, so he'll move his 30, get up close to Thorn,
15, 20, 25, 30.
and will then use, he'll use Healing Word on Thorn for now.
Okay.
So that's, let me pull that up. Here we go. First level for now.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Yep. For 6 points of healing.
Okay. And then that's Bruno's turn.
Yeah.
Moving us to...
No, Healing Word is a bonus action. He still has his action.
I thought he used his action for some reason. Go ahead then.
No, he'll Sacred Flame the one with the blue hat.
Alright, so deck save on that one. That is going to be a 7.
That fails, so it'll take 1d8 Radiant. For 2 points of Radiant damage.
Such is life.
Okay. And that'll end Bruno's turn.
Okay, now we go to Fiona.
Okay, well, there's the one with the blue hat is right in front of her,
Yes, it is.
trying to bite her.
Yes,
So
it
she's
is.
going to swing her sword at it.
15 hits.
Ooh, excellent.
Is your dexterity... What is your dexterity?
It's a short sword +1.
Oh, right. Yes.
My dex is a +4.
I forgot it was a +1 short sword. I
Yes.
forgot I gave you that for a second there.
Yes. 7 points of piercing damage.
Nice hit, nice hit.
And then she's going to swing around and punch it. That's a 21 to hit it.
Will also hit.
8 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Wow.
Nice hit.
Softened it up nicely for that bright beam of light still shining down on its head.
As you manage to find out how to uppercut the thing in the lower jaw of a creature that doesn't technically have a jaw.
Take that, you behemoth!
She's basically a research scientist of punching. She's always finding new ways to punch guys. It's so impressive.
Oh, I can't wait till my punches get as strong as my sword.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Speaking of things I got uppercut, we're going to go ahead and take it to this thing. Make the con save first, and that is a 10.
Fail.
I cannot roll high, except for biting Thorn.
8 damage, radiant.
That's enough to burn it out
Excellent.
as it hits the ground inside of that burning beam of light, half charred.
Vellos almost seems disappointed.
You should be.
I forgot to add
teamwork.
damage.
Alright, that takes Vellos.
Who, seeing as his first target is now in a half-charred heap, is going to shift focus to the red one. and run over to try to smack it with
10,
his...
15, 20, 25. Easy enough.
Yeah, he's gonna try to smack it with his flaming hammer.
Roll to hit.
15.
15 will hit.
Yay! Alright, so 1d6.
These things are easier to hit than spider chickens, thankfully.
Yes. They seem to go down easier too.
Indeed.
Plus 1d4 plus it was. Fuck, what does Searing Smite? Searing Smite. Ah, right. It does initial damage, initial bonus fire damage, and then sets them on fire.
Yes.
Thorn will be so happy with you.
Yeah, he's already glaring. He was glaring before you showed up, but now the glare is aimed at you.
Alright, that is more than enough to finish this thing off. In a fiery crunch.
Yeah, just bury the hammer straight in its face.
Okay.
Why does everything we fight have to spit acid? Jesus.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
I think
don't know.
we might want to invest in acid-resistant gear at some
The
point.
really weird
not a
thing is
bad
they barely
idea.
ever target me with the acid when I'm the one resistant to it.
Maybe they can tell.
How?
Yeah,
Lantern would like to get up close and personal and inspect one of those things, by which I
Okay.
mean, and see if she can compare it to a type of bug she's eaten before to see if she can tell what part might be delicious.
So
Oh,
I will
no.
start with, as you approach for inspection, in all of the light, you do come to notice that they're on kind of the top of the head. Hang on, let me go ahead and get the image back up. So on top of the head, in that top crest area, you do actually notice that there is a tag, a metal tag. It's kind of worn out, that's been punched into the top crest.
I would like to take it because I can always come back and find out what part of this bug is delicious.
Okay, so as you take the tag, it does have embossed writing in it.
Can I read it?
Part of it. It's worn down, but it has a few bits of info. Blanked out, chompy, worn down, if found, notify, worn out.
We should kill somebody's pet.
Was eating livestock. This is a caveat.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Lantern says, I don't know how to pronounce this name, so I'm not sure how to find this person to return Chompy to him.
Chompy?
I'm guessing it's the bug's name.
The other two also do have tags on them with a little bit more looking around.
Are any of them legible enough to tell who might be responsible?
Different bits of legibility, but you're able to piece together enough that somebody may have been keeping a menagerie in the local barony of Mansque, and these things may have gotten out.
How do we tell this to?
As being from a farming community, would Fiona recognize these things since they seem to feed on livestock?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
History? Okay.
To see if you can remember like lessons or rumors or anything.
I am not proficient in that.
Tell the guards? Do we talk to the scout?
8, so no.
Well, I think we just tell the guy who hired us to do it.
Not enough to come to any recognition.
Well, we know they escaped from a menagerie at the very least, so.
I think we mentioned that to the head farm god guy, the guy who we're doing this for.
Yeah, we could actually probably turn these tags over to them, and I guess he can petition that menagerie to pay for the eaten livestock and for that one guy's medical bills.
Side note, what the hell is a menagerie?
I don't know, but I got all of the tags.
An exotic grouping of wild animals. Usually in a cage-like viewing setting.
Kind of like a
Why?
zoo, but a little less.
Because most rich people, Fiona amends, have a lot of money and are bored.
Dori, whether or not you've been to one, you would know that Louvain has a menagerie of dungeon monsters in it.
Yeah. Louvain actually has a menagerie of dungeon monsters. It's kind of interesting if you're planning on doing delving.
Do they ever eat any of the monsters?
I don't think so. They never said anything about it. Yeah, no, they don't eat them. They just show them.
That seems like a missed opportunity while you're already taking care of them. Save a couple for dinner.
I'm going to be learning so much weird shit, aren't I?
Yes.
The next time we go to Louvain, you can tell them that.
Lantern nods as though she has just sealed a solemn promise.
Now I know why Zeke was so different after he came back. Or visited, rather.
Culture shock will do that to you.
Anyway, do these look like any bugs Lantern would have eaten? You know, just casual.
Not really. Nothing you can think to compare them to. You can, at least nothing immediate to compare them to. You do recognize the large claws and mandibles common of tunneling insects.
They look like a combination between beetles and ants.
Lantern's gonna rip off some of the parts that she might enjoy from a locust.
The meat has a very acrid, acidic smell to it.
I didn't say it was going to be good. I said she was going to take it.
I'm just saying that to point out just as an advisory.
Are we really going to want to try eating meat from something that spits acid? I'd worry about how acidic the meat is.
Dori cooked a spider.
You gotta test it. You never learn anything if you don't try things, Dori.
Well, okay. I'm just thinking of things to warn people about. You can
Dori?
ignore me if you
Yeah, it's acid, but I have baking soda, you know? I can adjust things. I can marinate. I can make some decisions.
Okay.
She gives you a big thumbs up. Is this the first time Dori has ever been accused in a situation involving multiple people of being the intellectually uncurious?
Probably. She's usually the one who is being told, put that down, Dori. You don't know where it's been.
Half the time
What
by
are
Bruno.
you doing? Yeah, half the time by Bruno.
Okay.
Congratulations, Dori is learning how it feels to be Bruno.
As Bruno has his head in his hands, just going, God.
As you guys kind of stand around these creatures, tags in hand.
Right, let's report
Have
back.
two with the name sections readable: Chompy, Clyde, and the last one doesn't have the name section readable, but it does have an ident that reads Ankeg.
Ankeg.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's what type of creature these are if they're from a menagerie.
It doesn't look like a keg at all.
Well, let's report back to the head priest.
Yes.
Vellos, are you walking with everyone else, or are you going to fly again?
He's going to walk this time.
I'm gonna go grab dinner. I'll be right back.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, but you go ahead and just take a break right here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's
All right.
Sounds
timing
good.
It's been
is
2
about
hours.
right.
I'll see you guys in 15, 20 or so.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, and through the power of editing, welcome back, everyone. Overgrown bugs dispatched, walking your way back to Starcrest, and returning to the bustling village life. As people with bated breaths kind of breathe a sigh of relief to see you all come back more or less mildly uninjured, save for a few.
Couple of wounds here and there, but clearly none the worse for wear.
Nothing you guys haven't already been traumatized by.
Yes.
All right. It's a bit of a walk back to the Bethel itself.
Lantern is skipping while muttering under her breath in Draconic. Vellos, you would interpret all of this to be food words.
Okay, then.
Like, essentially, she's skipping along, muttering, pierogies and dumplings
And
and
how are you
steam.
carrying those bug parts, just out of curiosity?
She's got them. She sort of got the field-dressed flesh tied to a stick, and she is holding the stick over her shoulder in hobo bindle fashion.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, about
boy.
halfway through your walk down the fields, the caustic nature of the flesh has eaten through the cloth and onto the floor, or onto the ground.
Well, it was rope. It was just tied to the stick, but once it drops to the ground, Lantern frowns and picks it up and ties a different piece of string to the same piece of meat and ties it to the stick and continues onwards.
You know that's probably just going to keep happening, right, Lantern?
Yes, but if my math is right, then it will only take me 3 more times before we get back.
How much rope do you have?
This isn't actually rope, this is string, and I'm looking for that information now. Okay, it just says she has a ball of string. Not a ton.
Ball of string. That's not. Can that be considered a measurement?
I'm assuming it is somewhere between like 2 meters and 5 meters of twine.
Wow. Okay, I need to definitely use different.
It's probably like 40 meters or so.
Thereabouts. I went to type in how
Why?
much is in a ball of string, and instead I got, before I typed in string, it said how much is in a ball of, we'll use the more YouTube correct term and say Colombian nose sugar.
All right, then.
Well, Lantern doesn't have any of that. I think she just has normal sugar, and not very much.
No, but for that to come up as the first thing for autocorrect or autofill tells me what everybody else has been looking for.
Huh. Okay.
Fascinating.
People got problems out there.
Mhm. Yes, sirree, Bob.
Hi, Blue.
Okay. Anyways, you're probably not going to get back with appetizing meat on hand by the time you get back.
Probably around the second time that it drops, she decides that at this point there's only so much washing is going to do.
Yeah. And also, edibility is now highly suspect.
It's Estiv's caustic enough to eat through whatever you're tying it with.
Twine would be the standard string.
I can't imagine that being very appetizing.
Yeah, I don't know if my baking soda is going to be enough for that.
Probably not.
But oh, it would fizz so cool if I got it back, though.
Well, you have vinegar for that anyways.
You're right. Lantern will not be deprived of her fun, fizzy, alkaline excitement. She just needs to look for it elsewhere.
Even though
So she will, with great reluctance, part with the terrible meat.
Anyways, getting back to Starcrest and back to the Bethel, where the people who did see you heading off in that direction had been awaiting you with bated breath and sigh with relief at your return. And
Hello. We fought 3 big bugs and brought back their tags.
And you're just kind of announcing this to the world?
As soon as I see, like, I assumed we were walking up to the guy.
Oh, no, I'm just describing the general reaction of the villagers.
No, she just waves at those guys in a normal, friendly manner.
Okay. As you make your way back and head over to the office room, kind of the administration room, where your friend is once again waiting, or the priest is once again waiting, not your friend.
Yeah. He's secretly a friend.
Hello there, Mr.
He just doesn't know
Priest.
yet.
We killed your bug monsters.
Oh, excellent.
We have their tags, too.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure how to word it on asking for proof, but wait, tags?
Lantern removes the 3 tags that she got from the corpses of the insects and places them on his desk for his viewing.
He picks them up, kind of looks over each of them slowly before he sets them down, buries his face in his hands, and lets out a long, bleating groan.
Yeah. Based on the information there, they're probably from a menagerie.
Know where these came from. Okay, don't. I'll take care of this. You guys don't have to worry about anything beyond this. Thank you for dealing with the problem.
Absolutely.
We'll, we don't have the most money to pay you with, but instead, if you're willing, on top of the... Man, I'm just knocking over everything. On top of the crates that are being brought over to your wagon, I can authorize a little something extra. We have some, if you're interested, instead of coin, we have a few extra crates of cotton that we could part with instead of trying to sell.
Lantern looks at Dori, because Dori's the only person Lantern knows who knows anything about fabric.
And Dori says, I'm used to it already in fabric and not in cotton form. But I'm sure we can find something to do with it.
Excellent.
And it is a very kind thing for you to do.
Okay, that is. I will go ahead and see to personally that that gets arranged for you, he says, standing up. And heading towards the exit to leave. And while I'm doing that, I believe the medicinal herbs have already been dropped off at your wagon and are just
excellent.
loaded up.
And I think at that point, Lantern would just straight up scurry out of the room to go handle the wagon stuff.
Yep, and there she goes.
Yep. That's our girl. And you are hardly one to talk, Mr. Oh, I'm shy and don't want anyone to notice me as I fly over the village.
See, Lantern does on some level want everyone to notice her, so...
Vellos, there is a stall with muffins off to the side if you dare to distract yourself with that.
Yeah, he's gonna get him. He's gonna buy himself a muffin or however that works.
Easily enough. It's a couple of copper coins, but for a very
he's going to get him. He's going to get a muffin and sulk a bit.
With a simple, hearty. It's just a plain muffin. Nothing fancy. But now you can sulk into your muffin.
Pretty much. You've made the dragon depressed, Dori.
Well, that's kind of what she does, isn't it? Makes everything depressed.
You're supposed to do that to enemies, not your allies.
I didn't do
But
it as
don't give her
powerfully
such good material.
to you as I do to my enemies.
Humph. Oh dear.
Fiona will probably go help put things in the wagon.
Lantern is having the absolute time of her life when you get there. You see her, like, reaching the stack of boxes, running over to it, grabbing one, muttering...
Way more than Lantern does.
In that case, you see her gamely, with full enthusiasm and complete lack of success, attempting to move one of the crates.
Bruno will aid in the loading.
There you go. The two of you working together, you can. It's a little tiresome since you are moving bulk goods, but...
I mean, Fiona is also helping,
over,
so...
It just kind of box.
I think between Fiona and Lantern, it's like between Fiona, Lantern, and Bruno, it's like two people are working on this project.
Like I said, until Thorn comes over and just kind of a crate in each arm up into the wagon, into an empty space.
Now, that Lantern gets excited about because she absolutely jumps into the wagon to be air traffic controller and to tell him where to put stuff.
So this
Dori
is dumb,
staying out of the way of the
but
people
there
who are-
there's info for a barrel, but not a crate.
I guess we're just going to have to use our imagination then and pretend that the stats for barrels will be compatible with stats for crate dice.
There is a crate item in the wagon furnishings.
Yeah, but that's a little different. I guess I should
Oh.
say. But we'll just use the same thing for the barrels. Call it about 4 cubic. Honestly, for crates like these, probably 3 cubic feet.
Makes sense. About a yard on each side.
Yep.
Lantern directs him to put them in the general cargo area away from where the door to the dorms are.
And while you are loading that, eventually you are brought a 2 crates over with the raw cotton you've been offered for.
It's been processed, right? It's just
Yeah.
cotton fluff.
Yeah, it's just cotton fluff. It's none of the seeds or anything. It just hasn't been made into sheets of fabric yet.
Fantastic. In that case,
mostly
we'll
raw.
absolutely move those, like have those moved closer to where she's sleeping for no reason. Definitely for no reason.
Dori looks at this and thinks about it for a minute and sidles over to Lantern and says, Lantern, you can't jump up and down in it.
No, but if you put a blanket on top of it, it will be very soft to take a nap on.
This is absolutely true. Okay.
She gives you yet another big thumbs up.
Are you wanting to open the cotton?
I mean, I think we should just take a look at what exactly it is we're looking at.
Okay, so as you open the crate, or do you are going to open the crate? Yes, before I go further.
I would say the first one. She wouldn't open both of them, but
Okay.
one of the crates she would open.
As you open the crate, the weight of your mistake begins to bear down on you, as the tightly packed cotton begins to expand and overflow from its container.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Lantern, what have you done?
Oh no.
Oh, it's fine. I have bags.
You do have
That
bags,
is a lot of fluff.
She seems
Yes.
unfazed, but also delighted.
And now there is a massive cotton fluff kind of half expanded out of the crate.
Anything she can't fit back in it, she will just put in bags.
Those will try to help her squish it back down.
And give me a strength check from both of you. I want a combined total.
Oh, dear. Am I proficient in strength? I'm not sure.
It's just a strength check. There's no proficiency here.
Oh. I'm not proficient anyway. Vellos is... Well, I guess he's channeling that, I guess he's channeling the depression well.
I would say, looking at our numbers, that's about what you would expect from our numbers.
It is.
Yeah.
But it is well enough to manage to... You're not sure how they did it, but it is enough to squish about 90% of it back into the crate and close it.
I think probably if I want to sleep on any of this cotton, I should put it into a pillow first. That is my learnings.
Let's not open the crates until we know what we're doing with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a warning label on these things.
Well, I suspect, generally speaking, nobody who doesn't know what cotton does is working or has to deal with them. We are very much the exception to the rule in this case.
Lantern does still look delighted with the information she has acquired, so this is a win-win for her. She got to see a big cotton explode. You know, now they own that cotton. It's great.
Yep. Oh, hang on. Got here. Oh, basket. Interesting. Not quite a crate, but it's a good starting area.
Yeah,
Okay.
starting areas.
We'll work
Yay.
off of that then. Yeah, that would work. Okay, so you got about, if you had to give it a guess on the weight, you got about 80 pounds of cotton squished into both of those boxes, which is where the question of how did they fit all of that in there comes from. Those 4 foot by 4 foot crates. Dimensional 4 foot.
That is very compressed.
Maybe they have folding magic. I mean, I have mending magic now. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility.
They could also just have
They have
extremely
what?
heavy. They could also have hoppers and extremely heavy rocks that have been shaped for crates.
They could have 3 big horse dudes who are willing to put in the extra time.
It's just something they're used to. They do it and often enough that they're good at it.
Anyways, squeezing all the air out of something set aside. It's about midday. You got your job taken care of here. You've got your supplies loaded up.
We
You
should
are
probably
the
head on
most
back.
You are probably regrettably the most excitement these people have had all year.
Vellos is eager to leave and not come back for a long time.
Maybe save a couple of generations before returning.
Something like that. Hopefully give it enough time for them to mostly forget about him.
So give it a couple of generations so this generation can die off, basically.
I mean,
Fiona will look at him and go, "That's never gonna happen, you know."
why?
They're going to tell their grandkids about you.
You're gonna be passed down as a local legend, probably.
Mhm.
You just see Vellos banging his head against the wall of the wagon.
Ooh, next time we come there, I bet that cupcake stand's going to be selling dragon-themed ones.
Very possibly.
The fabled silver dragon bought a muffin here.
Mhm.
Oh no!
Even though Lantern is driving, you all know her well enough by now that you can see as she is driving 100% of her actual mental energy that's not like stimulus response is devising a way to make a dragon-shaped cupcake.
Even without looking back, Lantern would be able to hear the thunk, thunk, thunk of Vellos smacking his head into the wall.
Lantern, at first you thought it was the road, but then you realized the road was actually fairly smooth coming up here.
Lantern makes a mental note to check that area for fallen scales later.
Oh dear, poor Vellos.
He didn't get hit at all in the last fight.
This is a weird conflict of interests. I just want this to be known.
I know. How do you think I feel about it?
You're more weirded out than I am.
Exactly.
No, it's cool. We'll just check there later, quietly, by ourselves, without alerting others.
Oh, Vellos is sleeping.
While Vellos is sleeping.
I swear to Albate, if there are scales missing when he wakes up.
Oh, goodness, no. She would never take a scale off of you. That would be theft. You have to drop it first.
That gives me ideas, though.
I should not have said that. I should not have said that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you gotta drop them first, then they're fair game. That's the rules. She didn't make them. She might have made them. She may have made these rules. Nobody else did anyway.
Yep. Alright. Midday traffic is a little less than regular traffic, probably because, as you can see as you drive around, people have either pulled over for lunch or are just already at their destination.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quicker to get back to town, about 2 hours, or get back to the city of Mansque.
It's cool. You all named nothing but municipalities there. You were close the whole time.
I have called Mansque everything but a city the first time around, every time I've spoken about it. I'll get it eventually.
Lantern is going to go ahead and drive this back to the general parking area that we have been parking at.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and then she's going to stop the carriage for a moment and say, "Is there enough room for us to drive this up to the House of Healing to make the drop off?"
Not
I don't
for a
think.
The problem is, technically, yes, there is space to do so, but at the same token, they do not want Delver traffic. They don't want Delvers riding their wagons through the city. It's one thing for, like, people... It's one thing for, like, businesses getting supplies transported in.
I think what Lantern is actually going to do is, like, stop at the parking area and talk to a town guard and get the gist of this information.
Basically, I forgot to mention you would have been given the receipt for... Yeah, there would have been a receipt with the crate, so you have that available as well.
Lantern, after talking to the guard briefly about this, goes back to the wagon and suggests that we go talk to the House of Healing and see if they would like us to bring it or if they have people they want to pick it up.
Which, if...
Didn't they mention that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They mentioned if you go back and inform them, yes, they will have somebody come bring a cart to pick things up.
Yeah.
Okay, then Lantern is happy either to go to the place or stay back by the caravan and get it ready for the cart guy to come.
Either one would be easy enough, as knowing where you're looking for doesn't...
Well, Lantern can do things like confirm that all of the boxes they've gotten are the right shipment.
Yes. And you are able to confirm that, yes, you do have all the right supplies.
So she will stick back while you guys go tell the House of Healing.
Okay.
Okay. So that's easy enough. It's a little bit of a walk to get to the appropriate address, but once you're there, it's quick enough to inform. Sorry. It's quick enough to inform the clerk that yes, you are back with supplies and have the receipt in question.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
To the House of Healing.
Yes. Like I said, easy enough to get there, and they do send out a couple of guys and a cart to pick up the supplies and leave payment with you. Payment being about 100 gold for all of the healing supplies in question.
Yay.
Hey, they're kind of a medical place. Do we want to ask if they might be interested in buying cotton?
We probably want to find the spinsters, because they are the ones who have to turn it into thread and fabric, which is what you do with cotton. The House of Healing is probably not going to have a whole lot of use for it in its current state.
How much do we get paid for the delivery?
100 gold.
100 gold?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a lot. It's, a good bit given the value of the supplies you're transporting, but also it's not a lot because you weren't out there risking your necks, as far as they know.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. But no, the spinster sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we start. Okay. Do we know enough about the city to know where to start to look for the spinsters?
Well, you know where a few tailors are.
Okay. Dori will head off to the tailors.
Okay. So you make your way over to the market district to locate one of the tailors.
Probably the one that we used the other night when we went out for our fancy dinner.
Easy enough to track back down. Buildings aren't known for moving. Usually.
No, not usually.
I mean, it is Mansque, and if that was going to happen anywhere, it would happen in Mansque, but...
Probably, but still not too likely to happen, especially not in the market district. In the district with the wizard schools, anything's fair game.
Depends on what happens.
Anyway, Dori will look to see if the tailor that was there the other night is there.
He is indeed there at this hour.
Okay, and she will go up to him and say, "Good afternoon, sir. I have a question, and I'm hoping you can help me figure it out.
Of course. What can I help you with?
We have obtained some raw cotton. Now, I know you don't do anything with raw cotton. You want fabric. Do you know where there are spinsters that I can go to get the raw fabric turned into thread and then fabric?"
His expression shifts briefly before lighting up again. It says, "Oh, I think I can get you in touch with one of our suppliers.
That sounds like a place for us to start.
They would be over in more of the industrial side of Mansque.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be further north past the city center along the walls. Let's see here. It won't be hard. It won't be too hard to miss.
Well, at least your directions aren't go past the cobblers until you get to the tool shed.
Fiona will roll her eyes.
He chuckles lightly and shakes his head while writing down an actual street address and building name. You can't miss it. It is actually a full warehouse as well as a production, as well as a spinsters. So it's one of the larger linens producers.
Ah, perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. And we'll turn and head out to the address.
He does. You do note the building is not named. You are simply given a number.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
And so it will take, with directions given, about... It's a bit of a walk. It's going to take about 45 minutes to go from one side of the city to the other. especially as you begin to enter the industrial part of Mansque, which, even with magic being used, is higher traffic simply because it's more goods being traded and delivered and less commercial traffic.
Yeah.
Lantern has to move her legs about twice as fast as you in order to move the same pace, and she's doing it excitedly while looking at all the workshops.
Vellos, are you with the group?
Yeah.
You've been here. You were here the other day when you found that one blacksmith making nails and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
supplying the local general goods. It wasn't an exciting job by any definition, but it was a job.
Now, this is a place where a girl could sell some potatoes.
Mm,
Yeah, probably.
Frustratingly for everyone, though, even here, magic is kind of being flaunted.
and a blacksmithing job was good money, but did not feel the sunblood from it. Ugh.
No.
Are you supposed to feel blood when you're smithing?
It's an Abadian expression.
Oh, okay, says Lantern, nodding as though she understands, which she does not.
Well, I guess it really isn't the kind of thing where things are exciting.
For the rest of ye, depending on how you want to interpret feeling the sunblood, that could go in one of two directions. Even with how well you all know Vellos. Be it in the direction of the hypnotic, frenzied enjoyment of one's craft, or the adrenaline pumping rush of putting the end to something that was once living. Without remorse.
Or both. Or both.
Or both.
Like if, for example, that's your skill.
Yeah.
Lantern has no idea what you're talking about and supports you completely.
Having seen him fight, Fiona is leaning more towards both.
Thank you.
Because he loves being right in the thick of it.
Battle for
But
me.
he's also a very crafty guy.
I consider battle a crucible for the items I make. I haven't been able to make anything worthy of taking into battle yet.
Yet.
Well, we're working on getting you everything you need.
We believe in you, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, as you...
Lantern chuckles for no reason.
Eventually you do get to the workshop. I guess the factory would be one way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
There are two doors. One's a larger kind of barn door-like structure for, as you probably imagine, and there's a more personably sized door. That leads into what appears to be more of an office-type reception room.
Dori will take the ladder.
Especially since the larger door says employees only.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea to go into that one.
Why not?
Probably not. Dori will go into the other door and look for the
receptionist. Okay. There's a small There's a small chime of a bell as you walk inside.
Okay. Is there anybody waiting at the door? Or
There's a few other people inside, but for the most part, it seems largely to be office workers going over some paperwork. As you enter, people kind of look at each other in a way that's like a question of who wants to help these people who just walked in that look like they don't belong here.
Dori will look for the person who looks the most hopeful and walk up to them.
Give me an insight on that. As from a glance, it looks like they're all pretending to be the most busy.
Yeah. Which is, quite frankly, what Dori would expect. Natural 20.
Okay, it's the coyote over in the corner who keeps glancing up at you guys, and then quickly glancing down, yet his quill never actually moves across any of the paper he's got.
Okay. Dori walks over to him and says, "Excuse me, sir. You may not be able to help us directly, but can you point us to whom we could speak with about a load of raw cotton we would like to sell?"
I suppose that could actually be me, he says in a tone best described as defeat.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. We don't actually have it with us because we really didn't feel like dragging 2 crates of raw cotton through Mansque without knowing where it was going to end up. That's what we have.
Understandable.
2 crates. Yeah. 2
How
crates
heavy
of.
is it?
Well,
About 40 pounds each.
40 pounds each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from Starcrest, if the location helps any. I don't know if that matters with cotton. It does with something.
No, but that's usually where we get our cotton. That's usually where we get a chunk of our cotton from. He says, pulling out while he pulls out an invoice form and actually starts writing on it. Let's see here.
He gives him a big smile.
And you guys are...
We are the dungeon rollers.
Okay, dungeon rollers. I see. He pauses for a moment. He looks over your group. Yeah, I think I've heard of you guys before.
Lantern
Lovely.
pops up her chest, looking
We
super
really got a
pleased.
name for ourselves.
I believe so. Yeah, you were the guys who helped out with that weird occurrence with the pottery district, or the pottery production.
That was us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Dungeon of Animated
Yep.
Glass. That was fun.
For certain definitions of fun.
Lantern thought it was fun.
Okay, you gotta admit, the pots shooting coins at us was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay, so my buddy at the bar was not making that part up. Okay.
Nope,
nope.
that actually happened.
Pots were using
Huh.
coins as ammunition. It was wild.
Lantern points at Fiona and says delightedly, "She caught some of them out of the air."
Interesting. Well,
Fiona will shrug as if it was nothing.
glad to know he isn't just Anyways,
What I found is that if the story sounds made up, it's probably true.
yeah,
That's-
it's something I'm starting to take notice whenever the word Delver comes up. Anyways,
yeah.
so it's back to the matter at hand.
Yes.
So, 2 crates of cotton, about 40 pounds. It's not a lot of cotton by any stretch of the imagination, but has it already been processed?
It hasn't no leaves or sticks or stems or seeds or anything in it, but it hasn't been turned into anything other than cotton fluff.
So it's already been processed, it just has not been refined.
Yes.
Okay. That makes things a lot easier on our part.
Excellent.
I don't mean to talk ill of Starcrests, given how much cotton we get from them, but half the time it seems that they don't refine it or process it.
Mm.
Well, we got this for killing a big monster, and they definitely did stuff to it first.
3 monsters.
Something was eating their livestock, so.
I'll have to ask the next delivery guy about that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're the dungeon rollers. Cotton. He thinks for a moment. 64 pounds of. Let's see here. 64 gold coins for all of that. Sound reasonable?
Lantern is not the negotiator, but looks at you guys fully, visibly willing to accept that.
Everybody else good with that?
Fiona will nod her head.
Okay.
Sounds good.
64 gold for what? Not even an hour's work? It's not
Yeah.
bad.
We'll take it.
Little mayhem, but
A little bit of doing what you guys do best.
Basically,
exactly.
Yep.
Killing big ugly bugs.
We were there on another job and took care of it while we were there. So
Okay.
all worked out.
So I was writing down some information. I just got to step in the back real quick, and then if you guys can wait outside.
Sure.
He says while getting up favors. And you guys are left you guys aren't left waiting long, a couple of minutes.
We can wait a couple minutes, sure.
And soon the larger door opens up as. Sorry about that. Anyways, as somebody comes walking out with a. That is frustrating. I keep getting a feeling in my chest like something's trying to come up and then nothing happens.
That's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So this guy comes out with a cart and a pony to pulling it, and asks you to lead the way to your cart.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Man with cart, we will show you.
Or to your wagon, not cart. Yes.
Yep.
So heading back to your wagon. He's not much for small talk. He seems more focused on work.
Mm-hmm.
Lantern spends the entire time talking to the pony in Pony with the Speak with Animals.
Even the pony seems more focused on work right now.
Yeah, they don't end up having much of a conversation, and it mostly discusses oats.
This is, you get the feeling even the animal gets the understanding of, I'm not paid to talk to anybody, I'm paid to just get through the workday.
I'll still mark down the spell slot because she definitely tries to talk with the pony, but she does understand the vibe enough that she doesn't bother it for much long once they've made idle conversation about oats for a few minutes.
Even the pony has that low-wage attitude, or low-income attitude.
I don't recognize that attitude in myself ever.
Okay, so easy enough. You get the cotton unloaded, and brought on board to the cart. You are given your pay, and off he goes.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, he grunts out. I'll get moving along. Give you guys a little extra.
Ledger says goodbye to the pony.
And giving you all a little extra money and a taste of trading supply and a taste of trade goods.
So that's what a commodity feels like.
Do you know what this all really tells us?
What's that?
If we're actually going to make any money, we have to delve.
Pretty much.
Because, boy, this takes forever.
It is a lot
Delving
faster than
money.
selling rotatos, though.
Yes.
It takes forever, but now that you're aware of it, you're aware of how much it's actually happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
Lantern, completely out of context, as wisely as possible, says, supply chain, and walks back to the wagon.
The horrifying
Dori
realization
feeling
that most
better.
of the traffic you go past is mostly out there doing this.
Yep.
Huh.
And that leaves
That's-
you about a little past noon. Quarter past
Guess I know
midday.
Guess I know how cities and towns function, kinda now.
Yep.
Trade.
Well, we still made more money than we would have just sitting in town doing nothing.
Vellos.
This is true.
Trade, your brother once said, with a 1,000-yard stare, is the lifeblood of all society.
I see he also got a lesson about this.
And then proceeded to embrace it.
Yeah. Only it didn't make him depressed. He actually embraced it. My brother owns a traveling tinkerer shop, basically.
Okay, one moment. Hold on. Lantern brings herself fully into your field of view so that she is looking directly at you with all of her attention, and she says, how does the shop move?
I'm
Usually hitched by 2 horses.
pretty sure by horse.
I will tell you right now that you can tell without asking that whatever Lantern is picturing, based on what you have said, is not correct.
No, I mean pulled by horses like our wagon.
It is increasingly incorrect.
Vellos is just gonna facepalm.
Vellos, there is one answer to this that you could probably use to save this.
It's
It's
a
like
wagon.
it's like a Leopardjet's cart or wagon.
They
again.
can put shops on wagons?
No, the shop is a wagon.
Yeah,
In other
the
words,
shop
here's a wagon that you
is a
sell
wagon.
things out of.
Yeah, think along the lines of a Leopardjet's wagon.
She is definitely thinking along some lines.
Ah, good enough.
Good enough.
Honestly, now I'm hoping that we run into him at some point. Just for shits and giggles.
I hope he gets the spider chicken pictures we mailed him. I bet he'd like that.
No, just have to make sure you never run
Wapaka?
into him.
I meant my brother.
I know who you meant. I'm just saying now I have to make sure you never run into him.
No!
No, I will say you can definitely confirm that you have given her completely the wrong idea, because every so often while she's doing random tasks for the next couple of minutes, she stares into the middle distance, and at one point in Draconic, you hear her murmur under her breath, "Imagine how big the horses must be."
I'm starting to see what my folks meant in that last letter.
Oh my god, did your folks tell you about Lantern?
No comment.
Oh god. I'm desperately curious, but
Well, it wasn't his folks. Not exactly. It was recounting Zeke's reaction to Vellos mentioning Lantern.
what tone are we talking here? Like mostly positive, mostly like excited, mostly like, oh, it's so nice that you have a kobold on your crew. They've got a great can-do attitude.
I believe their words were something along the lines of him shuddering.
Uh-oh.
I mean, you can
Nonsense.
check right there in the message I sent to you.
True. Let me double check.
As Vellos pulls out the letter to double check.
Nonsense. There is nothing to fear on a kobold. We're great.
Oh no, you flinched at mentioning I was with a kobold.
Nah, he's probably just saying, like, you know, that they're super awesome, and if you see one, you should give her, like, candy and shiny objects.
Sure.
A sugar-rushed kobold.
Uh-oh.
A lantern on a sugar high.
I'm just saying, y'all are lucky that so far there haven't been any suspicious mushrooms, or you'd see her on a much more legitimate high.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Good
no.
lord.
Dori is going to speak up and say, do we want to go find a scout and go hit our next delve?
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Since it's mid-afternoon at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, I figured, we talked to him tonight. And then
I don't know, if we go now, none of the taverns are going to be too occupied. People don't like to drink right now for some reason.
Well, a lot of them are still working.
The scouts here don't hang out really in the taverns, I don't think.
No, the one scout doesn't really hang out in taverns. He has a proper business, but that's just the one scout.
Yeah. We've only found the one scout.
We only needed the one scout.
Well, maybe we should look.
I mean,
Look for an
I don't think
independent
we're in
scout
much-
instead of supporting a multi-city business.
Yeah, basically,
Sure.
that's what I'm saying.
we're not exactly in a rush.
No, that's true.
No, I'm just thinking, this is entertaining and all, but it's actually a fair amount of work for not a whole lot of payout.
That's why I think we should find a guy. I'm completely for it.
Delving
All right.
is dangerous and terrifying. The payout's a lot better.
And also, did you notice that hole with the big bugs in it didn't have anything cool in it at all?
Yeah.
That's not how it happens with dungeons.
Yeah.
Dungeons have all kinds of cool stuff in it.
That they do.
Of course, you have plenty of reason to believe that wasn't a dungeon. That was literally just a hole in the ground.
Exactly. Unlike a dungeon, it didn't have any cool stuff in it.
Right, because they were just escaped beasts from a menagerie, or escaped animals from a menagerie.
I'm still curious about the story behind that.
I think maybe that's not the first time that menagerie has caused that Mr. Priest man trouble.
Well, whether it was the first time or not, he pretty clearly knew whose menagerie was and was going to have to, in capitals, deal with it. And he wasn't looking forward to that, but it wasn't something he could give to somebody else.
He would have to pay us actual money for that.
And we wouldn't have because that's one thing I understand about small towns. Doesn't everybody know where all the bodies are buried in small towns, Fiona?
They bury bodies all around in small towns?
They're metaphorical bodies, Lantern. They're not real bodies. It's just everybody knows what everybody else is doing and what all of their secrets and vices are.
Basically, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
Lantern still
And
looks
because
troubled by
of
your words.
because of how quickly gossip spreads, everyone knows everything that everybody does.
You know, I'm starting to actually prefer the big city.
Well, big cities are kind of like that, except instead of the whole city doing that, you do little neighborhood.
I like big cities better than little towns. They feel closer to being a big underground cave. Especially at night.
Plus,
Let me
there's the benefit of
rephrase.
a big city where, as Dori, you would be more familiar with, and so would Thorn. People tend to more leave other people alone in larger cities.
Yeah. I mean, they don't get quite as, stick your nose in your business if
Unless you're a dragon in Mansque.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that so much, Dori.
Well, you're kind of not quite unique, but kind of close to it. People don't see a lot of dragons, so you're exotic. That's the word I want. You're exotic.
Vellos, you noticed it more in Gossier.
I miss Gossier.
I mean, people don't pay any attention to me. I'm a rabbit. There's rabbits everywhere.
Yeah, but that's on them, because that way if a rabbit comes out of nowhere with an axe, swinging it and yelling, you won't know what to do because you weren't expecting it, because it's just nothing but rabbits.
Right. But that's why they don't, that's why they pay a whole lot of attention to Vellos and not to the rest of us so much. Although I would think, Lantern, you come in for your fair share of attention.
No, people usually don't notice me because I'm way below the level of their knees.
Well, yeah, that does make sense.
And also I'm usually wearing a hood, so I just look maybe like I'm a very small armadillo child with a skin problem.
Yeah, I can't really pull something like that off. Vellos would. He's
if you put yourself in a cloak with a hood, you're going to look like some big dragon in a cloak with a hood.
Yeah, I wonder why, he would say as he pointedly extends one wing.
Exactly. You're exotic.
Where are you standing while you guys do this?
Probably by the wagon.
We're walking. I don't know.
We'll put it to a group vote. What are you guys doing while you're doing this?
I was sort of envisioning us walking and talking.
Yeah.
Same.
Just kind of meandering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Kind of letting Lantern lead, which is a dangerous thing for us to do.
Lantern is vaguely looking for a tavern, but she's not rushing.
Vellos, as you extend a wing, somebody walking by has to completely redirect where they're going.
And then Vellos, there's that.
See, that's the thing where being in a cave is better than being in a small town or a big city, because you're not going to block anybody if you do that in a cave. There aren't a lot of people in caves.
No. But
Too
that makes
many
it boring
bloody
and
people.
way too quiet. Because there aren't any people. I much prefer being where there's lots of people.
It's definitely more interesting. That's why I left the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have a choice of taverns as you're walking along, but in your meander,
gonna
you
ask-
do make
Stop
your way
Lantern.
somehow back into the market district.
Is any of these taverns more delvery than the others?
The closer to the city entrances you get, the more delvery they are.
I'm aiming for something medium level delvery at least.
You do kind of end up wandering your way back into the market area that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
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 There's a few taverns there, then all the shops that you know about.
If our business ever takes us by in the area around Glassrune, we should make a stop to visit my family.
That'd be lovely.
Oh my gosh, we
I'd
need
love
to
meet
do
your
that.
family.
Sweet for Rasta, we need to do that. We need to do that so much.
Fair warning,
Your family lives in Glassrune?
in the area, roughly.
Yeah, something
There's
tells me you don't
a
actually
whole lot of
live.
glass room to live in.
Do you speak Glassrunish?
No, they taught me Alamanian, figured it'd be more widely spoken.
All
Yeah,
right.
I actually speak both, so.
Same.
But, fair warning, you might have a bit of a gauntlet to get into their house.
Lantern immediately looks at your hand armor in confusion.
Not the piece of armor.
Vellos, you would know all the bypasses.
He would.
But
The
we're
question
not
is-
that.
Yeah. But he kind of wants to see how his friends would do.
On one hand, he does know the code. On the other hand, he does want to see us suffer the torment nexus. It's a difficult decision to make.
Understandable.
I mean, it's not gonna kill them. It.
You hope.
Little did he know, Thorn's allergic to tripwires.
Hey, we're not a family of whites.
Hey, tripwires have many, many uses.
I meant that was more towards Dori.
He could be. He could be hiding a
Okay.
secret from you. He could be the only silver in a family of white dragons.
Ooh.
Gauntlet, says Lantern, marvelingly, definitely picturing the wrong thing.
Oh, he's 2 for 2.
What? No. Yeah, I think you might be right there.
Why do I even try?
Because it's amusing.
I mean, if
You
it's
should try
Vellos'
more.
family, it must be really well made. And probably big if it's that much of a threat.
Lantern, picture something like a dungeon, just no monsters and a lot of traps.
I do need you to know that, again, you do not need an insight check to know this. She is picturing a dungeon in the general shape of a gauntlet.
Oh dear.
I can't win with her, can I?
No.
She's having way too much fun.
I don't know. Is it wrong for me to say that I've been enjoying watching you get confused at her reactions?
Don't worry, if you're
We've all
confused,
been there.
ask me for help and I can explain.
You should definitely explain to him, Lantern.
Oh, what do you
Yes.
need explained?
Yeah, no, I'm going to enjoy watching you guys try to get into the family nest.
I'm hearing definite sounds of payback there.
You should explain to him how your gauntlet works.
Well, I'm not wearing gauntlets. I have these gloves. They're made out of leather,
Uh-huh.
and what they do is they cover most of my hand, but not the fingers, because I can do the grippy thing. And if, I'm really without a weapon, Kobold claws. And she
Ooh.
makes a claw in your general direction, very dramatically.
Oh. Well, those definitely seem more practical than the gauntlet that is guarding Vellos' home.
I don't think I'm allowed to wear metal gauntlets, so I think I could maybe wear them if I made them out of other stuff. But I don't think I'm allowed to wear metal gauntlets. I'm not sure why. It's just a feeling I have that it's not good and I wouldn't like it.
It's probably that you don't know how to move in it.
No, I just really get grossed out by the whole idea of even trying.
Dori and Fiona, you would both be able to see Vellos having a weirdly serene expression on his face, like he's deep in thought about something or imagining something.
Anyway, Vellos, what kind of cookies do your family like? Because I can make some. Like, if we get an oven before that.
My mom's partial to sweets.
Well, that's good, because I've tried making the kind of cookies that aren't sweet, and they're not very good.
Fair enough.
I made some that tasted exactly like pork liver sausage, and it didn't work as well as I hoped it would.
That's
okay. That gets a few heads
Ben had
from
a
other
lot
people
of
who quickly
questions for
continue
me
walking
lately.
fast.
Ben had a lot of questions for me when I did that. Like, why? And how?
There are several townsfolk who are just also like, why and how, and aren't going to ask, and instead quickly speed walk away. The kobold may have impacted future attempts at opening a food stall.
Anyway, sweet ones work better.
yeah, stick with sweet ones. Ugh.
Maybe with little pieces of candied ginger in it. That would be nice.
That sounds delicious.
Anyways, there are a few taverns in the area. There are the shops. There are a few people who don't want to sample the kobold's cooking.
Well, fortunately, she's not selling any today. Right now, she's just kind of looking for a dungeon scout.
Go ahead and give me, I guess, a perception check as you, I guess, poke your head inside a few taverns.
Oh, I thought we were doing that tomorrow. I thought we were just getting food.
No, we were doing that.
Depending on our success, we may end up just getting food. Perception?
Yes.
It's a 17.
Good enough. on picking a tavern at random and looking inside, you are able to spot someone who matches the general description of a scout, or someone's.
Ooh, someone's.
Seems like they might be working together.
I think those people look like scouts, and one of them keeps doing the thing with the familiar that you see the scouts doing a lot.
Not in this particular situation.
On this situation? Okay. Well, in that case, Lantern points out some other. Lantern points out some other random behavior she's noticed in common with Dungeon Scouts.
First try, Lantern. Frosta must be smiling on you today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, he does sometimes.
Sometimes.
And other times you're like, I don't know if this is shining or not. This doesn't seem shiny. I'm not sure it's shining.
Is it really smiling at you, or did he just roll some dice himself, just be like,
Unfortunately, Lantern, while she is an adult, is not old enough for postmodernism. So that particular question is going to have to go unanswered.
Yep.
Well, we should probably go up and approach them and make sure that they are scouts.
That would be how to start, yeah.
Yeah. I will let you guys do the talking because I am really, really not good at talking to strangers.
Fiona, can you please help me get a table? Sometimes they do not notice me if it's just me.
I can help you with that. Fiona will go with Lantern to help her get a table for dinner.
Well,
Dori will walk up to the presumed scout.
Okay. So some of you are working your way over to an empty table. Dori, are you with anybody else coming up to the presumed group?
I don't know. Is anybody else coming with me?
Vellos will come with.
Okay.
Oh, Bruno.
Okay, so three of you approach. The four people who are seated around at a table, going over a map of the local area with a few spots circled. Circled with a charcoal pencil. They quickly look up at you, and with a slight smile, one of them asks, can we help you with anything?
Well, just a question. We were looking for a scout. We're Delvers.
Look no further
We're ready
than
to find our next job.
Currently trying to. So, at the moment, we're currently working on that ourselves. We have a few things in the rumor mill, and we're just trying to determine the where, based off of what we've been able to find out.
Okay.
So we've got a couple of potential locations. We are just trying to filter out where that is. But as he glances around and speaks in kind of lower tone, if you want to give us a couple of hours or come back tomorrow morning, we might have exactly where things are figured out and where to send a group of delvers towards.
She looks over at Vellos and Bruno. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go get dinner and see y'all tomorrow.
That would be great, he says, nodding eagerly. Especially since it beats work. Especially since we got to this place before the Dungeon Brigade or those. He kind of just knocks his fists together in frustration, or before those, I I'm sure you've probably seen them here and there. Those scouts who all seem to be working for the same large company here in Elements.
Oh, the ones
Yeah,
with
we've run into them.
the ones with the dragon crest.
Yeah, those guys.
I've done a few jobs for them.
Mm-hmm.
He seems a little annoyed at that, but doesn't seem to push it on you specifically.
He just shrugs.
Yeah,
Dori's
those
trying to-
guys.
Dori's just going to leave him grumbling and go back over to where Fiona and Lantern are getting themselves set up.
And grumbling he is left. As the other three
Grumble,
continue to
grumble.
go over a few different areas circled on a map based and comparing topography notes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about this tavern.
I have answers.
Is this also the kind of tavern where you can rent rooms for the night?
This one, yes.
Ooh.
Lantern is strongly considering we kill two birds with this stone.
This place is also a little bit more expensive. Coming to a proper, how much were you charging for how much were you paying for the previous place? What was it?
I believe it was
7
7
per
silvers
room.
per room.
Yes. Yeah, this place is actually a little bit more expensive, a little bit nicer, coming to a gold coin, which will, if you guys deal for 2 rooms, it will come to a gold coin per room.
Okay.
I'm still willing to do that.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got nicer accommodations here, like something. I'll make something up later.
There's a curtain between these beds. Fancy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
These beds actually come with pillows.
I don't know, the other place wasn't that bad.
It had pillows, because Lantern slept on one of them.
Mm,
Yes.
This one changes the bed sheets every night.
There you go. Instead of every week. Learning how common that happens makes maybe just not want to stay at any hotel.
Right?
Anyways, anxieties aside.
Anyway. Gotta get a room. And 2. And dinner.
Yep. Meals are to
Lantern will go ahead and big spender 4 silver for her portion. So each of you have to pay 3.
Yep.
Okay. Dori will give up 3.
Fiona pushes over 3.
Vellos
And then the
will be
boys get to figure out how to split their room.
Yep.
Vellos will be the 4 silver spender for the boys.
Okay.
Alright, so
Very big spender.
Bruno and Thorn will spend 3.
Truly monumental expenditures.
Right?
Yeah.
All the money. We're so broke now.
So
Why are we staying here?
The horror of it all.
Terrible, terrible.
Terrible,
I
horrifying
mean, that-
nightmare mess.
That is actually a valid question because we have the dimension dorms now.
Yeah, that would require
Yeah,
walking
because you're
all the way
not-
back to our wagon.
You're not
Yeah.
really supposed to sleep in your wagon if you can avoid it, is the impression we've gotten here.
Yeah.
On top
Right.
of that, the
Like,
wet.
it's not a proper campsite, it's basically a parking lot, and like they're not going to yell at you if you're sleeping in your car in a parking lot, but they don't love it.
Also, the Dimension Dorm is very much so a cot linens and pillow. This is a
Actual bed.
Yes, this is a bed, sheets, and pillow. And also a vanity mirror and a wash bowl. Plumbing
Yeah.
That's
included.
what we're really paying for. It's all a conspiracy by Big Wash Bowl.
Yes, the horror of it all.
Mhm.
The conspiracy to bring facial hygiene to everyone.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, and that would bring us around to the morning as everyone rests.
Dori will play for her audience.
Okay, give that
Same
5d6s.
as okay. Oh wow! 3 stewards, 2 scholars.
Wow. Not a scoundrel in sight.
Not a scoundrel in sight.
Just like our party.
Yeah.
Sure. Keep saying that. I know what you guys are up to.
I mean, you are currently the only one who knows what Lantern is up to, other than me, so.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, you've gotten some extra pictures out of it.
I have. I'll call it a partially good thing.
Now I really want to know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Don't worry about it. She's got projects. You know, she's on it. She's with it. She's hip.
Pretend we didn't hear that. Carrying on.
Okay. So we're gonna go talk to the scouts,
Yeah, the pair of scouts.
the grumbly scouts.
I
Okay.
mean, to be fair, seems like they had a reason to be grumbly.
Yeah, Vellos was a little curious about that, but didn't want to be pushy.
Well, their small business is getting edged out by Scout Mart, so.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
Pincer between Scout Mark and a military operation.
Yeah. Not really fair to go after us though when we're patronizing them, you know?
I think they were, from how you guys have explained it, it sounds more like they were just annoyed that the other guys keep getting people and money and not annoyed at us for using them.
Yeah. Well, they didn't seem happy when we said we'd actually worked with them before.
I don't think,
Anyway.
again, that was an annoyed at us, more annoyed just in the general situation.
To be fair, if
know.
I Lantern hear that someone is working with somebody that I really, really don't like, I don't know, like the spider chickens, it makes me kind of a little unhappy.
Well, there is that. There is that. And she'll go find the scouts.
It's easy enough to relocate them while they're not at the same table they were yesterday evening. You do find them kind of, they look like they're not exactly morning people in so much that they're grumpy being awake more than they are physically out of bed, but they may have left their spirits in bed.
Understood.
Hmm.
Good morning, gentlemen.
I guess it is. As one of them's just kind of sitting there. Two of them are sitting there rubbing their eyes still. The third is just unfolding the map. The fourth that was there is presently not there.
Lantern very quickly glimpses under the table just to make sure he's not there.
He is not under the table.
She had to check.
I guess.
Never hurts to be sure.
This is true. You had a potential lead for us?
Yes. So after everything, we've been able to work out a general idea of a dungeon over in this vicinity. He says, tapping the map, kind of,
Strum will look at it. Or not. I'm sorry. Fiona will look at it.
it's a bit of a trek south of Mansque, leading to an area. Given your knowledge of cartography,
Yeah.
you'd call it about. This is actually probably a fairly solid trek, about a day and a half's travel out of Mansque, headed south.
Okay. It's about a day and a half's worth of travel there.
It's not.
Not so bad.
It's not entirely being a problem to any of the surrounding towns or villages, but
They're not to let them sit for too long, right?
no. If you let them sit for too long, that's where the problems start to come up. And this one's a, from what we've been able to deduce, a relatively new one. So,
Okay.
New is exciting.
What
Well,
kind of thing
no.
is going on there?
newly cropped up from things going on there is, I'm sure you've probably heard, I'm sure you're probably already familiar with the null problem that Elements is having the further south you travel.
No.
Yeah, we ran into that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Deal with one of
Vellos
those.
dungeon is decided to rear its ugly head, apparently.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely.
So
Their
if you're
heads
looking
were
for
pretty
more,
ugly.
if you're looking for more along the lines of a fight, this is definitely it. But if you're
Fiona grins.
if you're more inclined for something a little more inventive, traps, puzzles, and the like, we do actually know of another location.
I think we like both types as a general rule. We enjoy sort of work. But we definitely have a lot of people who are really good at fighting.
You're not wrong.
Yes.
I see.
Plus dungeon.
He chuckles. As the fourth kind of comes walking in, as the fourth of their member comes walking in, carrying 4 steaming hot cups of liquid gold, sleep in a mug. Coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
Lantern sniffs the air appreciatively because she likes coffee.
So does Dori.
And he hands a mug over to each of his companions before sitting down and kind of letting them continue talking to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he says for a moment, blowing on the cup of coffee but not taking a sip. I assume you guys are more interested in the Null Dungeon than it is the puzzles and traps?
I think so, yeah.
Fiona will look at everyone else pleadingly.
I mean, the last dungeon we did had a lot of traps and stuff. Let's go for a fighty one.
As Lantern sees it, no one else has expressed any real interest in the lots of traps, and Fiona desperately wants to fight, so by her logic, we should go fight.
Fiona looks pumped.
And maybe there will be another Gnoll who is a chef, and Lantern can steal his recipes. If they're a lot better than the last guy's recipes, where that is.
I wonder how that one ended up.
Last you heard, he got his hands on some sourdough starter.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, with that, with you all given directions on a place to go and what to expect, and how to expect, that's what we call it there for the session.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Destination acquired.
Yeah.
Fiona is ready.
Monk wants to punch.
Monk does
Absolutely. She understands the flow of her key better by punching things. It's the only way to learn, don't you know? Getting out there and actually fighting. Which you still owe her one, by the way. She hasn't forgotten.
Is that fear I hear?
Oh no.
She is eager to learn the ways of fighting armored opponents.
You know, as long as you're already going to send her down the hell gauntlet, she might as well earn it through her behavior.
You are the most armored opponent she has ever seen, other than the Bladelings.
You are all
Those
just
things seem to be armored for a whole other stupid reason.
Yes.
You are all just begging for Vellos to send you down all of the trap-infested hallways of the family nest, aren't you?
The thing is, though, I would like to know, is Vellos really not going to feel guilty about looking in the trusting face of a kobold who is obeying his instructions explicitly because of how much she trusts him? You really gonna send her into the traps?
Vellos seems to be a fan of group punishment, so he might. We'll go ahead and cap off recording here.
Okay.
Whoever said anything about Vellos leading, he's just not going to show you the way.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you all for coming. I will see you all next week.
Thank you for a lovely session.
Yeah.
Session.
Yeah.